It's time to put the kids to bed. It's rated IDP with Nate, Coach, and Dougie. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Saturday Night. It's Rated IDP Live. I'm your host, Oklahoma Doug, presented by Rider Digest Network YouTube and powered by IDPguys.org. No co-host with me tonight as Dingus is watching his daughter play a little hockey tonight. Can't hate on that. Hey, girls got to have some fun, right, boys?
That's right.
I'm here with the producer at Nate. What's up, homie? You got people haunting you? What the hell's going on there?
He's got a bat up in the corner of his room.
Oh, I'm looking at my other screen.
Oh,
it's on the ceiling, Batman style.
Yeah.
Jesus is coming. Jesus. Well, anyway, speaking of Jesus, our guest for tonight, Big 3 IDP. What's up, fellas? I'll let y'all introduce.
That's right.
Josh, I know you're the good one that introducing and doing all this, man. As it you kind of take the leads on the host range for the podcast. So I'm gonna let you do the introducing here, man, and let you get the formal introductions out of the way, man. So,
sounds good, Doug. Somebody has to keep these idiots in line.
Yeah.
So I'm Josh, obviously. That's Bobby, and that's Adam. So, yeah, we're the Big 3 IDP podcast, and, just super pumped to be on tonight, dude. We just started this thing back in, June or July?
Yeah,
so
end of June.
Done 12 or 13 episodes, so, it's and now we're on Rated IDP Live, so this is it. This is
It's crazy.
Top of the mountain for us, so we're actually going to give it up, hang up the cleats after this.
Yeah, you guys have been the coolest. You guys were the first to really welcome us and
well, that's it. We was gonna announce it on this show, but now that we got you guys on, we're actually done too. This is it.
Great. So we can just all quit together. I love it.
Nate, if you'd like to send us all off, man, and we'll just
Nate, let's just call it. Yeah, this is it.
Hey, what I was doing last week is the
old Yeller style.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
The mic drop. That's right. Yeah. Just pick this up and drop it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, so we got no dingus this week, Nate. So there won't be no down and distance. But we can always get our out of the gate segment right off the top of the show, where we always talk about something coming up in the upcoming week. Or what happened in the previous week. Just we'll go around the room and hit on everybody's go-to topic or takeaway topic from last week. So, Nate, you want to get us started in that, homie?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest topic that I'm thinking about is John Johnson's shoulder. Going on IR. I actually didn't get to see the injury. Big 3, you guys want to take it away on that and just bring everyone up to date on what's going on?
Say, Bobo, you're the Rams fan. What happened to JJ's shoulder?
Yeah, I don't really know, to be honest with you. I saw the.
You mentioned it. You were like, "Is he injured? Is he on the injury report?" And I was like, "No, I'm sure he's fine." And then, literally, just out of nowhere, this news drops that he's headed to IR. Mm-hmm. So, do we know if it was some kind of obviously tear in his shoulder, maybe his as Bobby would say, a tear in his labia, potentially.
But it kind of can sneak up on us in IDP, especially with players like with JJ. On these teams where you have the established IDP guy in like John Johnson at safety, he might get a day off here, a day off there on the practice report. Yep. Especially immediately following the game. You know what I mean? So if he sets out that, that practice immediately following the game, we kind of, throw it off, okay, rest. Maybe a little stinger, not much to it. Well, then it goes on to the second day of practice, and you're like, whoa. And then the third day pops up, and then here we are. We got to set lineups. You know what I mean? And that's what this kind of reminded me of was, okay, that's nothing. Boom, it's RR. That's it.
It came out of nowhere.
Boom, RR.
And it just sucks because he was balling this year, and it was one of those things where he was a guy where you kind of wondered if he was going to keep it up after a really awesome debut season. And he was proving a lot of the doubters wrong so far this year. And then this just sucks, man, because it's like this dude was on that upward trajectory that you like to see in IDP where there's so much more turnover than offense. And then just to have his season cut short like this is just like a gut punch. And for not just for IDP, but for the Rams too. I mean, this is a team that has needed some defensive help, and now they're without one of their biggest playmakers.
So who do we think steps in here?
Is this a Taylor Rapp situation?
Is it, Bob, what do you think? Rams fan here, man. You think Rapp gets it? I've heard he could get the majority of it, and then it'd be split, but I mean, what you know any more about it than any of us?
There's just so much up in the air right now with that whole Rams secondary. Obviously with
Ramsey,
Jalen Ramsey now.
Marcus Peters out. Keep Talib on IR.
Troy Hill's going to start probably now because
they brought in Kenny Young.
Yeah, so now you got a new linebacker.
Kenny Young.
You've got this Troy Reader guy who's been making a lot of plays and stacking up some points. So I don't know, man. I would hate to kind of forecast something that's completely wrong because I don't know if the Rams really are going to know for the next couple of weeks. I think that you'll probably see them try a couple different things here in the next week or so. Because A, not only are there problems there, but B, now you've got some new guys that are going to have to try to fill a John Johnson role and some two new corners. So I don't know, man. It's going to be difficult for the Rams. They got two easy teams coming up, but they could easily lose one or both of them,
There's certain positions I feel like in IDP where you can grab the guy if there's an injury or a suspension, you can grab his replacement and get 70 to 80% of the production. This feels like one of those situations where I just want to stay away and see what happens. And if I go grab Rapp in a couple weeks, maybe he is the guy, he's filling in nicely for John Johnson. Okay, but I'm okay to miss out if Rapp is the guy, if somebody wants to go scoop him up right now and take that chance.
Yeah, I completely agree. And more than likely in dynasty leagues, Rapp's taken. Rapp's sitting on somebody's likely taxi squad. So you're not going to go out there and get Taylor Rapp. And in redraft leagues, I'm not sure if it's somebody that I'm willing to drop. The anointed person that I'd have to drop to be able to pick up Rapp in small redraft leagues. So he's probably not somebody that's really on my radar now, or I'd already own him.
Probably for this year, you probably go get Weddle, because isn't he wearing the green dot as well?
That's the last I heard. Yeah, was that Weddle was wearing the dot.
Yeah, but if
Weddle's still out there though in your league, you must be in a shallower league.
Good friend of mine, Ryan Searfoss, Fantasy Football Connect there over at the goingfortube.com. He's a real big Ravens fan, and whenever they got Weddle last year, I've never been an Eric Weddle fan. I mean, I think he just kind of gets by as being that field manipulator. Like, he didn't do anything in Baltimore last year. He just played back there in center field and wore the dot on his head. And I know he probably helped align the defenses and stuff, but the guy didn't contribute much in the stat column. And I feel like that's going to be the same way there in LA. Like, you can own him if you need a spot start, but I don't see like the stats overtaking somebody more than probably we can stream start you.
It's the beard. The people like the beard.
And he's like a smart, like well-spoken guy. So like, and also he's a big name, and it's one of those classic, like grade the game and not the name type of guys. Like he's coasted by on this name and reputation that he has when the results haven't been there. And he's probably one of those guys that's more important for his NFL team than he is for your IDP team.
Nailed it.
So for John Johnson owners in redraft, we'll say, because Dynasty would be completely different. Are you holding him? Say you don't have. Say you're a team that had like a lot of injuries so far this year, and your IRs are filled. Are you? And this is just another one. Are you holding John Johnson for a December return?
Is he? Are they talking about maybe he could be coming back this season?
I've heard possibly December.
Ooh,
Bobby's got no. You don't have John Johnson.
If I was in that situation and I felt like maybe I was going to be in the mix for the playoffs, I would want to hold John Johnson if there's a chance that he could come back and give me a push in those last couple weeks. But I wouldn't fault anyone for needing to drop him and move on just to fill out your roster and compete.
What do you think about? Is there any trade value? Say you aren't gonna compete in December. Can you get him, maybe get something for him by sending him to an owner that can compete and needs a safety?
That's a good question. Are we talking redraft or dynasty still?
Redraft. Dynasty is long term. So
yeah, you're holding JJ in a dynasty league.
Probably gonna be tough to get anything for him unless you're dealing with Rams stan.
If there's a Rams fan in your league, for sure, that's gonna be competing. Yeah. Otherwise, I'd say you're not gonna be able to get anything for him in a trade.
Word.
Completely agree, because we're talking about a guy that really didn't have a lot of namesake as it was. He was kind of just a guy, just a jag.
His name's John Johnson.
Yeah, it's like it's made up.
Right. So you already us IDP vets, we roll him out every week. We put him high in our ranks, and he's steady Eddie. You know what I mean? And he's just that guy. So you already wouldn't get much of a name value for him. So you're probably not capitalizing much of anyway off of this.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I thought that he got a lot of hype in the offseason and fulfilled on it. I got him in my leagues. I brought up the anecdote because I've got Adrian Phillips and Avery Williamson on my IR slots, and this is just another injury for my team. That's 1-5, 1-6 at this point. But he's someone that we've been talking about, at least in the IDP guys, since last year when he came up. And then throughout the offseason, he was high in all of our rankings, Dynasty and Redraft. So, if you know anything about IDP, I think he's got a little name value. But, I don't know. It
just sucks.
It is.
Well, it's like, is Derwin James, is there any chance he comes back?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're talking soon.
Really?
Next couple of weeks, I've heard.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
He's out of a walking boot.
That's good. Yeah, because his was what, was his a foot or an ankle, or this was so long ago. This was this like
a screw. He had a screw.
Oh, that's right. Yes, it's so gross. Yeah. Anytime you're talking about screws and feet, that's gonna decrease the value of your feet picks if you got screws.
If we had to have a Saquon Barkley for IDP, would that be our Saquon Barkley?
Derwin James?
Probably him or
I mean, that's a good question.
Maybe like Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love me some Myles Garrett.
And he looks like an action figure, so that helps a lot too. Him and Danielle Hunter, it's like He-Man.
Yeah, there's a lot of good candidates. We got a lot of good young guys.
Yeah, it's
I would love for Tremaine Edmonds to come into be that next guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
can he drink legally yet?
He just he in May he's 20 turned 21.
That is wild.
So it's crazy.
That is completely wild. Completely wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good comparison. Interesting thought. The IDP Saquon, the IDP, stud muffin. It's got to be
because
Garrett.
he's coming back from this strain, 3 weeks later or something like this, and everybody was like 6 weeks at the least, and he's like, I'm fine. What's y'all fucking deal?
Yeah. I hope he is. I mean, I hope he doesn't come back and play for this Giants team that's, more competitive with Danny Dimes, but probably still going nowhere. Yeah. And he jacks his ankle up even more. I mean, that would just be another gut punch in a season where we've had quite a few so far.
What has it been with injuries this year? I don't get it. It's like every game that I watch, there's like a major injury.
I know. Akeem Hicks going on IR. That one was crushing if you're in a defensive tackle league where you got to start a D tackle, or even not. I mean, Akeem Hicks is, one of the best defensive linemen in the league. So it's just like we've had a lot of guys that, and CJ Mosley might as well have been on IR for how much he's given you this year. So you've
Darwin
had
Williamson,
Keanu Neal again.
Yeah,
Keanu Neal,
that sucks.
John Johnson.
Yeah, John Johnson. Like, this is one of those seasons where you're seeing the IDP owners who are a little more plugged in and know the depth charts a little better. You're seeing them probably doing better overall than just the casual players because a lot of big name guys are going down.
Yeah. And that's another thing to say for what we've all done this off season grow in this community is we've still seen this community of IDP be bigger and better than it's ever been. And this is a season that's been injury plagued and maybe has been a little bit harder to stream players than it has been in years prior. And we still see the growth of IDP the way it is. And it's, it's just a testament of what, this style of fantasy football is becoming,
we were talking about,
in my opinion.
Go for it, Nate. Were you saying something?
No, Dougie was wrapping up. All you.
We were talking about that a little bit today in that, I think maybe we're getting to the part of the culture where people have been playing fantasy for so long that they're maybe getting a little bit bored of the standard leagues and your, Yahoo and ESPN. And the guys who are wanting to stick into it are looking for something a little bit more in depth, And I think that's kind of to the point where fantasy football is that, some of these dudes that really like the defensive part of the, equation as well are getting into this IDP. So, yeah, that was kind of what I talked about with the guys today is that should kind of be the push for, for 2020, play less leagues and more IDP.
More IDP, fewer leagues, more IDP.
And I kind of think, I know there's been discussions of, you want to have defensive tackle, defensive end, cornerback, safety, and then even there's been discussion of having like edge positions. I don't know that that's the answer, honestly. If you're looking to grow it, I feel like what Sleeper does, giving people you guys hear that third eye blind?
That's
awesome. I'm loving
this. Nate, are you piping this in right now? I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Hold the fuck on. Why am I the only one that can't hear the fucking third eye blind?
I don't know. I just was reminded semi-charmed kind of life. So
okay. So the host should get some of that.
I don't know.
Awesome. Yeah.
Have headphones on.
Actually, just saw they came out with a new album. I don't know if any of you guys are Third Eye Blind fans, but they're still recording music.
That has to be up there for biggest surprise new albums. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I agree, Adam. I think that the positional designations is something that the IDP community has to figure out because it is hella confusing for new IDP players coming in.
I just like how Sleeper has the multiple designations, like, being able to just build monster lineups, starting, being able to start like Khalil Mack at defensive line, Bradley Chubb at defensive line. Like, that's awesome to be able to just build like just weird teams,
That's it. I get that. And that's what we love as veterans, as building these monster leagues and these vampire leagues, that you don't draft a single player and then the first team that loses, you get somebody off their team. We build these leagues because we just keep wanting to feel that rush. Well, in IDP, in my opinion, we watch defense. We watch defense already go by the wayside. Defensive is a thing of the past. Team defenses, it's gone. It's nothing, no more. We've watched that go by, and I just feel like we're kind of just sitting around right now watching IDP, kind of grow within the middle while fantasy football, kind of gets a bigger bubble. And we're just in the middle of this bubble, kind of watching everything just get bigger on the outside. So what way to make us form with that bubble was to maybe make it more learnable for the newcomers, where where they're coming in and they see outside linebackers, and they're like, well, this is too much damn work, man. Now I got to figure out what the hell a 3-4 defense is, what the hell a 4-3 defense is. I got to figure out all this shit. Shaq Barrett, who the hell is that? Why the hell is he in the linebacker standing?
Yes.
What the hell are you talking about? I didn't even know that guy's name in the draft. And that makes you not even set a lineup the next week because somebody just got this guy that's leading the league and tackles and points off of the waiver wire the week before, and he's creaming everybody because he's getting 6 sacks in a game. But then you look at the next week and you see this guy got 1 tackle, 1 point. And you're like, whoa, okay, well, here's the guys that, that the people I've been following, like IDP guys, like Big 3 IDP, have told me to put my linebacking group focus around, and I just, it's so many avenues that you can go. And I just feel like if we make it more simplistic,
I agree.
that it'll grow bigger.
I can tell you, Doug, the number one thing that would grow IDP, because if you look at where fantasy is growing the fastest, it's in daily. Because there's this push right now with gambling in the NFL. Daily is kind of a close kind of cousin of that. And if we could ever see FanDuel or DraftKings or the Draft app, any of these daily platforms add an IDP element, that would grow IDP fandom faster than anything else.
They did a couple years ago.
Did they really?
Yeah, yes. Johnny and I played during the playoffs. I think it was like 2 years ago, and they added an IDP slot. And we were like, oh, my God, this is it. They're going to do it. Was it 2 of them? Yeah.
2 of them.
And they had it you could custom make with IDP, or they had tournaments that were IDP. We thought it was going to catch on, and we were waiting for it the next year. Just nothing ever came out of it.
And it's just because guys like Josh and Adam and Bob, and it's because guys like that didn't know,
Yeah, we didn't know. I totally would have been down. Yeah, had no idea.
And that's what I mean about that. We just need, and it's something that I swayed the flag around, and I had to.
Uh-oh.
That's a good screenshot.
That is a great screenshot. If that was Doug's last moment on Earth, that's not a bad way to go out.
The nuke has hit Oklahoma.
He's gonna say the squirrel running across the power line took him out.
Oh man. I don't know what he's gonna say. Ooh, and we've.
He's back. Hey, there he is. Doug is alive. All right.
You put that flag in the ground.
Yeah. That's right, dude. You put it into your internet cord. Yeah, right into your router. Be careful. Yeah. These flagpoles are dangerous, Doug.
I hit a wire.
That he did.
You're not supposed to dig where the yellow flags are.
That's right. Call before you dig, Doug.
Anyway, all I was saying, I'm just looking for something for the IDP community to gather around and plant their flag with, man, something that we could all rally around and make a for sure judgment on just some of these big, small topics, like outside linebacker. Scoring's another big one. I feel like if we can tackle this edge designation thing, if we can get one set scoring, then this will be all easier for all of us. They have PPR, half-point PPR, standard. That's it. Tight end premium. Quarterback 2. That's it. That's it, boys. That's it.
Well, now you're on 5.
I know, Nate, but we've got pass deflections for cornerbacks. We've got tackle numbers for cornerbacks. We've got linebacker sack totals. We've got linebacker tackle for loss. We've got defensive end tackle for loss.
I couldn't tell you what the scoring was in our league for each of these specific positions and each of the 10 things they could do to score points. So there is more complexity because you either have a rush attempt, a pass attempt, or a reception. So yeah, I agree. There is definitely more complexity when it comes to defensive scoring. So finding a way to streamline that and maybe finding some popular, some popular versions of scoring. So you could basically say, I mean, we kind of have that right now, right? Because you'll hear tackle heavy or big play.
Where do you guys lean? What do you guys prefer? Do you like more big play?
I've been leaning actually a mixture. I like higher tackles, but then premium scoring on big plays. And this is new for me. I was hands down a tackle heavy guy for many years, and I've been playing in new leagues, seeing new scoring setups and everything. And I've kind of changed my mind. My home league, I'm just seeing is just super low scoring, and I'm playing in these other leagues that are really balanced. My thing is, we need to come to a point where scoring roster and everything creates balance. That's what we need is balance. I'm not really on the side of simplicity, because why did we get into IDP? To make it more complicated. We want it to be interesting. Yeah. If we want simple, let's go and just make a league where it's a quarterback, a couple wide receivers, a couple running backs, and then like a WRT slot. And that'd just be the league. That would be super simple, right? I am under, like, my philosophy of it is creating, I'd like the edge position just to make OLBs relevant, but that to me is a whole separate issue. When it really comes down to is, like Dougie said, there's like 5 major scoring settings for offensive. Why don't we create scoring settings based around those? What would be balanced for 2QB? What would be balanced for tight end premium? And then from there, having layers of like, okay, beginning, intermediate, expert. So like, if your league is a 2QB league with tight end premium, well, you search in the Google box and it comes up with an article and it says like, okay, these are the settings that you should be using with these roster sizes, and it would create a balanced league.
Yeah.
So if we're creating balance, then, whether or not, like, when you first start playing fantasy football, were you any good?
No.
Good Lord, no.
I was really good.
Especially
Bobby was. Yeah, he won like 3 championships in a row.
I won my first year's championship, but what I mean is, like, you don't get into fantasy football to be good at it. You get into it because you want to watch football, and you want to watch football with your friends, and you want to beat the shit out of them.
For sure.
Like, so, yeah, you start playing a new style of play.
Or you have 7 kids.
and
6 if we purchase one.
Yeah.
Doug has offered to let us buy one of his children, so.
Fuck, I play fantasy hockey.
That's a sicko
I
right
started
there.
my career writing fantasy NASCAR.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whatever I got to do to get out.
Exactly.
Yeah, Daddy's got to have a break.
But what I'm saying is just that, like, there's a different drive than the success of your team that first year. You're just figuring it out, and most people go, I'm just figuring it out, and they hit Twitter, they look up resources, they research, they come to us, that's the other. So really, what it comes down to is creating balance, finding some easy resources, and just expanding what we do, having more of us out there. That's why great that I'm grateful that you guys came on the block of IDP. Anyone out there, like, it's still the Wild West. It is. Nothing is nailed down. There's no ESPN of IDP. There's no one group that is the gold standard. Everyone has their faults. Everyone has their benefits. Like, and the more you listen, the more you take in, the better you're going to be at the game.
Yeah. I don't want it to sound like
standard is You know,
it's big three. You're right, Doug. Thank you.
we got them on tonight. We got them on that.
Yeah, I don't want it to sound like I don't want the cornerbacks and the edges, and I'm just saying just for beginners. I think that's the way to go. But I'm with you, dude. I love it being complicated and having
absolutely.
2 corners, 2 defensive tackles.
The number one thing you said, Nate, was balance. Like that's what we have tried to pay really close attention to in our main league is your total scoring. Is it about 50-50? Because we start the same number of defensive and offensive guys. So we want to make sure that your defense, the investments you're making is paying out just as much as your offense is. And I totally agree. That's what we should be shooting for is, because we said on the last podcast, like, if you're going to do IDP, don't do 1 or 2 players. Yeah. No, come on. Just get that garbage out of here. If you're going to do it, have the same number of guys for IDP that you have for offense, and then look for scoring settings that are going to allow the scoring to be balanced. Because you don't want IDP to be that tack-on piece that is just kind of thrown in there.
Makes it more random.
You want it to be half of what you're doing in your fantasy league. Otherwise, why do it?
Yeah. That's where my eyes were open this past this year really. My main league is a keeper league, and going into the year I realized no one was keeping IDP. I had the sickest defense. I mean, this is a 10-team league, and I was starting Joey Bosa and Browns defensive end. We were just talking about him.
Myles Garrett.
Bobby Wagner, Luke Kuechly with Deion Jones on my bench.
Oh my gosh. Was everyone dead in this league? What was happening?
I'm in this league with like 5 other IDP like Twitter people. And I was able to basically number ones at each position.
Name them. Who are they?
Let's put these people on blast. I'm going to take some
John's
notes.
been in that league with me for ever.
John's busy pooping his pants.
Joey the Tooth is in that. Snacks.
Wow.
Who else?
Snacks. Probably me.
I think
those are all good dudes, by the way. I like all those guys, man. You guys got a good group over there.
Yeah, absolutely. Joey came out of Twitter. We just hit him up one day, and he's like 30 miles away.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah. But so I'm able to put up this like all number 1 defense, and I'm 1-5 because it's just not been. Those guys get me about 30 points and a normal off, and we're scoring 200s.
So the scoring is not balanced at all.
Yeah. So my eyes really opened up this year. I'm like, okay, we got to do something about this. Yep. So next year we're gonna fix it.
Good, yeah, because otherwise it does make sense to fade defense.
Yeah, for real. Why bother?
Yeah, nope.
Just stack your offense.
Yeah. I've had Deion Jones on my bench, and I can't even move him.
Yeah.
Wow. So anytime we talk about leagues and scoring, I got to bring up the podcast league and how kick-ass it is to see those 2 divisions, Nate, scoring so closely to one another. Big Three. If y'all ain't heard, before in the off season, me and Dingus and a few others, we made a podcast wars league, and what we did was we got all the defensive podcasts and writers. And then we got all the offensive podcasts and all the writers. Awesome. We've got Dynasty Headquarter HQ. Mm-hmm. We've got Dynasty Diagnostics with Stompy and Ethan. Yep. I mean, we've got Peter Howdy. I mean, it's loaded. It's a loaded league, and what me and Dingus did is made the scoring where defense and offense are going to meet in a 2-week championship at the end of the year.
That's
cool.
And
it's going to be offense versus defense. And we've made tackles. Anyway, the number 1 team in the league for IDP is 5-1. And the number 1 team in the league for offense is 5-1. Rookie Fever. Both of those teams are within 3 points of each other.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That's offense only starting quarterback running back, wide receiver, tight end, and that's IDP only starting IDP, and it's 3 points within each other.
Yeah, we'd love to join.
Yeah,
thank you.
Oh yeah, we're gonna cast the net out, man, in the off season, and we're gonna grow this thing. We want it to almost be just like the Scott Fishbowl, man. We want to donate to less fortunate people, man. We want to grow this bad boy to be. You can right now, matter of fact, you can get one of the shirts. At one of my good friends' websites. At Nate, would you like to tell everybody what this website's called?
Yeah, myfantasyfootballshirt.com.
Hey, easy enough.
Yeah, it's
Shameless plug. Sorry.
No, I set it up so that, if you're looking for a fantasy football shirt, you go to my site. So, as a graphic designer, I needed something extra to, make a little extra scratch. So, put this website together, and I make custom shirts for podcast brands and leagues. And Dougie wanted one for his Pod Wars, and I made like a band tee, where it's got the on the back. Usually it has all dates. Well, this is all podcast brands.
Awesome. So. That's great. And if you guys are looking for a charity, I have one I'd like to suggest that's very near and dear to my heart. It's the
Baja Blast.
Yeah, it's the Baja Blast for orphans. Yeah. It's the Derek Zoolander Center for Kids Who Can't Read Good and want to learn to do other stuff good too. So
we're passionate about them.
We really, it's a school for ants, and we really would appreciate, you guys considering that. Hey, this is what you signed up for, dude. Yeah. You send what, Doug?
I send all of my beer tabs to the Zoolander School for the Blind or whatever you do.
School for the Blind. That's the offshoot.
Oh, man. For a second, I thought you were really going to say one, and I was like, Doug, that's so mean.
Yeah.
They're not sending Baja Blast to orphan children in Africa.
Yeah, or are we?
We would never, ever talk about a charity on our podcast. We promise you that.
And we would never waste Baja Blast. If we're involved, that's going down our throats. Yeah.
Yeah, you drop Baja Blast whenever you want.
This is what happens to Nate on a weekly occurrence. He sees me getting ready to say something or the guest getting ready to say something, and he starts seeing red, and he's like, oh, shit, here we go. We go. Here's what makes me go back to the food industry.
Yeah, this is the moment where we get canceled.
Well, Nate, we're not that guest. We will never, ever be that guest.
For sure. Markham might try to be that guest, but we'll shove him out of the frame before he can say anything.
I'm disappointed. I was hoping you would be that guest.
Okay. I'll do whatever you want me to do right
now. Don't give Adam that carte blanche. You will regret it.
What do you want, Nate? What do you want me to do, Nate? Tell me.
Do you want both feet up on the table right now, Nate?
Just kidding.
Let's get those feet pics. Come on,
yeah,
boys.
baby.
Smokes, let's go. Oh, man. So there it is. Yeah.
Hi-yo.
We've made it through one out of the gate. So who wants to go next with the piece of news to talk about?
Oh yeah, we're still on segment number 1.
Yes. We came out of the gate, and then we lingered around the gate, and then some of us fell down, and now we're still there.
We're trying to get the record for the longest episode ever of this. So
no joke, real quick. First ever horse race I went to was in Hart Springs, Arkansas. Right?
Oh God!
I was 13 years old. Dad was working a project up there, and he's like, "Hey man, I ain't never seen no horse races or anything. We don't even got a fucking stoplight. It's time for me, man." We wore all fancy hats and everything. Anyway, this, they got this little fucking thing that goes on the side that takes off.
The rabbit.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know what it is.
It's a little rabbit, a little not stuffed rabbit.
I thought the rabbit was for the dogs. Anyway, I didn't know what a horse
maybe it was for the dogs.
Anyway, this thing takes off and he falls down sideways off of the little track. And he makes about 50 feet, and the deal it goes and it falls over. every one of the horses stopped. Dead
Oh
in the track.
no!
Every one of them stopped, dude. They had to shut the horse races down and like lead them all back through the middle, man. And all these rich old dudes down front, man, they're all getting mad. They're tearing up tickets.
Yeah, all those bets, dude. Yeah, it'd be a riot.
Wow.
Yeah,
Hey,
you
man,
can't do that.
It was low scale, the coolest redneck ride I've ever seen before in my life, man. These old fat dudes, man, just with this, just this superintendent, high school money, just up there throwing it around.
Yeah. There's some degenerates, dude. Horse racing is huge in Kentucky, and so you
Yes.
go to the track, and it's like
Not a lot of happy people usually at the tracks.
There's it's two camps. It's like a small group of happy people that won their bet, and then like everyone who's going for their fifth bourbon. You know,
Everyone else is getting hammered to forget all the money they just lost.
real great.
Yeah.
Fun for the whole family.
All right, hey Nate, I'll go with my out of the gate, the second off, and I'm actually watching this Arizona Cardinals New York Giants game. This thing is going to be arcade mode style fucking fun, man. This is going to be
NFL Blitz.
Start your Jackrabbit, start your Byron Murphy, fire those cornerbacks up, babies, because we are getting at it on this one. This is going to be balls to the wall from the first quarter to the fucking end kickoff right here. This one's going to be fucking NFL Blitz, old school, sideline to sideline. Jordan Hicks probably fucking 16 tackles. This is going to be amazing.
You got me fired up.
every week. Just the yelling.
This is one I've been looking forward to all week, man. Daniel Jones, the rookie on rookie. Nobody's going to be scared of anybody. Daniel Jones has got Byron Murphy opposite side of him, not scared of anybody on that side of the field. And then you got Kyler Murray, who's already breaking rookie records with 20 straight completions. The quickest rookie to ever do that. These two kids are going to be looking to make a name for themselves and outdo each other. And I think it's just going to lead to points and points and points and points. I see big David Johnson games. I see big Saquon games. This is shootout, boys. Pick the overs all day long. Pick the touchdown overs. This is shootout central.
I love it.
Yep. I reached for Kyler in one of our listener leagues.
Turns out it probably wasn't a reach.
And it wasn't bad. And I mean, he still looks like Marvin the Martian out there, like a little tiny person with like a massive helmet on. But dude's balling, Dude's balling. He's a little helmet with feet, but
man, he's fun.
My man can play.
That's what they said about your boy Oklahoma Doug until I hit a little dribbler to third and I make it to second. And then they're like, holy shit, we should have hollered at him before the other guys did.
Yes, Nate.
Do you guys watch Gridiron Heights?
No.
Oh my god.
No.
So it's a cartoon where they weekly go through like random stuff that's going on in the league. I've been watching it for like 3 years now. It's fucking hilarious. But what they do.
It's Bleacher Report, right?
Bleacher Report. It's
I think I've seen a few episodes.
Yeah, YouTube, yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
They have, for rookies, they make them like baby voices. But then for Kyler Murray, he's also a midget.
Whoa.
So he's like got a child's voice and he's a midget. And every time he walks through the frame, someone freaks out like, whoa, what was that?
It's true, man. He looks like about like 4 feet tall out there. But yeah, he's putting up numbers. Once he finally decided to start running the ball, those first couple games, it was like he was gun shy and didn't want to run. Ever since he got the legs going, man, he's been awesome, fun to watch. And the Cardinals are winning games. Like don't count them out yet.
Where are they now? Are they 2-4?
Yeah.
Oh, you can count them out.
They had it tied, didn't they?
They're done.
Yeah, Detroit.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Detroit. Yes, that's right.
That was terrible.
Gosh.
That was a weird ass week for Detroit.
Yeah, it was.
It was week 1. It's
Yeah.
some reason last year we got smoked by Sam Darnold.
Yeah, NFL man.
Yeah,
How about them Cowboys?
How about him?
I don't know.
No, Johnny. Johnny's the only Cowboys fan, right?
There went our 3 listeners.
Well, there are 3.
There are 3 still. They stuck around.
They said there are 3.
Yeah. I think one of them's me.
Oh, wow. Okay, so 2. Maybe I think they're probably people from our league.
Hey, guess who the other one is?
And we're the others.
Us watching
Ourselves. Yeah, there we go.
Wow.
Hey, that's fine.
That's humbling.
Yeah.
That's humbling.
Oh, God. Hey, Nate, I really got to piss, man.
No, I'm sure it'll do numbers later, though, right?
Oh, what? Right. Doug's piss? Or this episode?
That might get us up. Doug, could we maybe take that in there?
Yeah, just piss in that bottle, Doug.
Yeah, right there. Just
let it run.
All right, y'all.
Oh, God. Jesus. Oh, Nate, abort. Hit the red button.
There we go. These guys.
All right, I'm going to pee, too.
Yeah.
Where's the bottle? Where's your Coke?
That's not the full Coke. You're the empty beer. God. You see what I'm dealing with? Nate, you understand.
I do.
It's like herding. It's like
John.
Yeah, it's like herding cats that are all on meth.
I think Doug lost his laptop.
Did I?
Yeah. Man, so what are you guys watching this week? What's the storylines for the big 3 guys?
So I'm going to do, for out the gate, I'm going to do something a little bit different, looking back on the last 6 weeks of the season. So excluding the Thursday night game between the Chiefs and Broncos, I wanted to see if like the teams with the highest amount of defensive snaps, were they actually producing the top scorers in IDP? Because that's what we always hear, right? Is that like snaps are king, whoever's getting the most opportunity those are the teams and the players you need to target. Yeah. So through the first 6 weeks, and of course we got some bye weeks in there, but still there's nothing you can do about bye weeks until like week 12 or whenever byes are done. So the top 5 teams in terms of defensive snaps through 6 weeks were Kansas City, Carolina, Washington, Pittsburgh, and Tampa Bay. So the question was, those 5 teams should have the most players that are the highest scoring in IDP in the league. So is the correlation strong? Is the snap myth that we all buy into, is it actually true? So I looked at the top 250 scoring IDP guys in our league, and I wanted to see which teams had the most guys inside the top 250. And if the snap count kind of, theory holds true, these 5 teams should have the highest amount of guys, and they did. It was Pittsburgh was actually number 1 with 11 of the top 250. There were 3 teams that had 10, and Tampa Bay was the only one outside of the kind of top upper echelon. So the other teams with at least 10 guys in the top 250 were the Patriots, Broncos, Vikings, and Saints. So we talked a little bit last week, like what are some teams that you could target, especially as we get into like streaming territory with injuries and bye weeks. Who are some teams that you could just pluck guys off of and have an above average chance that they would return solid value? Those are the teams that you want to look at, the ones with the highest amounts of snaps. So as buys continue to pick up and injuries continue to punch you right in the wiener, go for these teams with lots of snaps because the scoring is showing that those are the top producing teams.
Nice. I was very worried that you were going to come back and say that they were not in the top.
That's what I was worried about too, was that holy cow, we've bought into this like snap count myth and it doesn't matter. But no, 4 of the 5 that are tops right now had the most producers. It's kind of crazy. Pittsburgh had 11 guys inside the top 250. We kind of thought of that like a defense in flux, but man, they have been awesome for IDP this year.
Well, I'm looking at a league right now where Devin Bush is the number 2 IDP overall. Yeah. So it makes sense. I mean, you got to also consider talent. Whenever you're talking about snap percentage and all of that stuff, it doesn't matter if there isn't talent. You put the guy in. I won't say that. We've had some pretty terrible, like Tyler Whitehead. He's a guy that's always in the top for linebackers, and he's just always been in a good situation. Not that he doesn't have talent. I don't want to say that he doesn't, but he's been known to not have NFL caliber talent, I guess, where he's kind of a cut candidate sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
He got cut from Detroit because he could not cover for the life of him. But when you can find that, the culmination of high snap percentage and great talent, that's when you get people like Darius Leonard, Devin Bush. Somehow Jamie Collins is still like relevant this year.
It's number 1 in our league.
Yeah, number 1.
Yeah.
Linebacker. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's number 3 in the league I'm looking at right here.
Yeah, he's for real. It's just at this point he's going to keep producing.
What league you looking at?
And I wonder if Belichick has his talent and is putting him in position to succeed based off of the teams he's playing. Because it's always been known that the Patriots kind of like shift their defense based off of the team, and he might be like, well, this is my asset. Who am I going to put him on? Like, so we're going against a run team, so I'm going to put Jamie Collins in the middle. Oh, we're going into a passing team. I'm going to put Jamie Collins on the edge. Like, I don't know if that's what's going on. It'd be cool to do like a film study. But that seems like he's the only one in the past, like, how many years? When was the last Patriots linebacker that was relevant? Out of
Mayo? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, Mayo. Kyle Van Noy has been something.
He's something, all right.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And it's also crazy. Like the Patriots, if you're in a normal league where you start at defensive special teams, they're like, that's your league winner right now is the Patriots defense.
As a whole, yeah, they're a solid squad. But trying to pick out a single guy is
still avoid for IDP. I mean, unless you got.
Do you own any Patriots right now?
I had Jamie Collins like before the season started and dropped him.
so that's how things are going over here. I don't own any Patriots. Do you have any guys right now?
I have Van Noy.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah. And sat him last week when he had the.
He's been pretty solid.
Yeah.
I picked Jamie Collins up off the waiver wire in one of my dynasty leagues.
Wow.
Oh no, I got McCourty this morning. I got McCourty.
Okay. Yeah, but like I said, that we're a big play league, so it skews a little heavier towards those guys that rush the passer. But we had the Patriots with 10 guys inside the top 250, so there are dependable guys there. It's just a matter of, are you going to grab the right one? Yeah. And will he be relevant, moving forward rest of season? Who knows?
And piggybacking off of that, homie, I'm looking at the Podcast Wars scoring here, and I see 3 members of the Giants secondary in that top 20 IDP scoring. Wow. And who did I mention they play this week? The Arizona Cardinals and Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray and that hurry-up offense.
Yeah.
You fire those Giants up, bad boys.
Yep, absolutely.
Jesus.
Doug is going to be like just glued into this game. It's going to be amazing. We just seen a live stream of you, just like watching this game to get your reaction.
Live tweeting.
There we go.
Tweet. Cardinals Giants. Oklahoma.
It's going to be 3-0.
Yeah. Now that we said all this, it's for sure.
Right now. I'm gonna write that down.
Let's put a crow on it.
Yeah. Dougie, you want to do that?
You'll put a crow on it.
Hey, I got more Tony Sashers today at the grocery store. I can always cook up a little crow. Won't hurt my feelings, no.
Dougie, I was going to ask you. I
know y'all think I'm weird, but it's not going to hurt me to go get 2 more shotgun shells and to point it up in the sky at 6 birds flying around, shoot one of them, defeather it, skin it, bring it in here, fry it up, and eat it. It's not going to hurt me.
Doug, you bet with crow like John bets with enemas.
It's not a problem. What did I tell you?
You kind of want it. You kind of want to lose.
Yeah. Johnny's always flirting with it. He's like, "Come on, I'm ready. Let's do this."
Once you get that taste for crow, boy, got to hanker it again.
To be honest with you, we tracked about 4 deer this morning, Nate. It's what it is. It's youth hunting season here in Oklahoma, and that means that anybody under the age of 15 can just have a fucking hunting raffle and they can just shoot whatever the hell they want to. If it's moving here in Oklahoma and you're under the age of 15, you can shoot it. So what do the adults do in that situation?
They get hammered.
Of course, we go help them. We go help them. All right. So we've got about 6 deer running towards the place. I've got kids set up like it's an ambush, like we're fixing to invade Normandy, right? And what does the 9-year-old do? He jumps out of the pickup truck and he slams the door like he's an Incredible Hulk trying to flip the fucking pickup truck over on its side, and every goddamn deer within 3 counties run off, and we're eating goldfish tonight. We're eating bait tonight. Yep. But we're eating bait. If you could send any rations to Doug, at 377 Rice City, Oklahoma. We appreciate your food. Yeah. We need your help, folks.
That's the charity we need to support. Yeah. We need to send Baja Blast to Oklahoma Doug.
Baja Blast and fajitas.
Whatever help. We'll make alcohol. We'll make alcohol out of that. We'll sell it to the neighboring counties, and we'll get food. We'll feed our people.
So you're just gonna become a bootlegger?
A bootlegger, yeah, a Baja bootlegger. There are worse ways to go.
Bootlegger. That's it. Hey, does y'all's Taco Bells? We just started getting Taco Bells around here, and they build them and they make them all rusty looking. Do y'all got them?
Yeah, I think so. It's like
y'all know what I'm talking about.
It's like stucco. Looks like
yeah. It's like an industrial kind of look. Yeah.
Yeah, industrial's ass. When it rains and you see the rust and shit all running down the concrete water, don't that make you want a beef burrito?
I think if you're going into Taco Bell, there could be the outside of the building could be on fire.
Yeah, you keep your head down.
Yeah, you just
keep that head down.
You look in the mirror at your shame. You don't look at the Taco Bell.
You walk in with it on fire. You walk out of it with your asshole on fire.
Exactly. Yeah.
There we go.
But yeah, again, you don't want to make eye contact or look at anything when you're eating Taco Bell.
Yeah. The aesthetic.
You're not proud of it.
Yeah.
But you got to get it in you.
Yeah.
It looks the same going in as it does going out.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Sure.
Yep. All right, let's get one of you two out the gate here.
Again, I don't know if we follow the rules, but my main takeaway is just that Luke Kuechly is a god. Luke Kuechly right now, he is leading the league in snaps with 440. He's on pace for 1,170, which would be his previous high was 990. So that would be about 200 more than
career high. Yep.
Ever had. So I don't know that keeps up, but we're 3 years removed from the concussion now, and that's always a big,
Has it been 3 years since his last one?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just because it was so bad.
Yeah,
3 years now.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So, he always gets knocked for that, but I don't
Feels
know.
Like it was last Tuesday.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It just sticks in your memory.
It was just one of the worst ones we probably ever saw,
Because wasn't he just sitting there like with tears coming down his cheeks?
Yeah, like couldn't catch his breath pretty much.
Broke my heart, man.
Could you pull that up on the live stream right now if you could?
Can you show us Luke pondering his future?
That'll kill the momentum of this.
So what does that say about the Carolina offense, though? If he's putting up that many snaps on defense, that
not good.
They're just not on offense.
Is the defense that good either? Because they're getting scored on as well.
Yeah,
they're really high snaps right now.
Running.
Yeah. But they're winning, right? Since
Kyle Allen.
Yeah, since Cam Newton went out and Kyle Allen came in, it's like these teams where you think their season's over, the Saints, the Panthers, they've just been chugging right along. Now, what's funny is you have no question that when Drew Brees comes back, Teddy's going back to the bench. But would anybody be surprised if Kyle Allen held Cam Newton at bay for a couple weeks after Cam's healthy?
Didn't Robert Griffin have a good first year because nobody had film on him?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's kind of always something that goes into these things, but
I
just think Cam Newton's kind of washed up.
I agree.
He's not been the same guy now for a couple years.
I think y'all are freaking insane, man. I think all y'all are crazy, man. The kid, like, all he's ever did is win. He comes to the NFL. He gets put on a team that is defensive oriented. They haven't had no pass catchers around him. You've got Devin Funchess as a number one wide receiver for 2 to 3 years. He goes to another team, and the guy is literally non-existent no more. And now you've got Curtis Samuel and DJ Moore, a second-year player, plus Curtis Samuel that's maybe got 11 total NFL snaps, and now we're judging Cam Newton like he's like a throwaway quarterback. Like it's insane to me. The only team that has an NFL winning record against the Patriots over the last decade is the Carolina Panthers. And Cam Newton, his physicality and his athleticism brings something that this NFL needs. It's what Michael Vick had and Steve Young had, plus mixed with accuracy. I know he's got accuracy issues, man.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is that
he's got kneecap issues.
Yeah, he's not physical anymore.
And his shoulder. That's what I'm worried about.
He's not running the ball. He's never been an accurate passer.
I agree. He's awesome. Like he was awesome. Doug.
Everyone grows up.
He doesn't want to take these hits anymore, man. He's got shoulder surgery after shoulder surgery. Now his foot's messed up. Like, this is not a guy who wants to like plow into the line and be crushed by these defensive linemen anymore. So, and his passing game has never been what made him special. He was special because he was always that dual threat, and it was like trying to tackle a vending machine. You just couldn't do it. And he's not that guy anymore on the ground, and so you're asking him to be an accurate pocket passer, and Cam's just not that guy.
Yeah,
I get it.
Plus,
he's
more
sure.
concerned with his
Debate,
clothing.
I think it's 100% great.
I wish he'd stop that.
I think that he needs something besides Ron Rivera. Like Ron Rivera is a good NFL coach. He's a good NFL coach. He's a good NFL coach for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
The Denver Broncos. The Baltimore Ravens.
That's true.
That's the kind of coach Ron Rivera is. I think Cam Newton's more of a quarterback for Kyle Shanahan. The kid down there in Cincinnati. Sean McVay. You see what I'm saying? I think these quarterbacks have
a little more creativity.
I think these I think these quarterbacks have more style sets than we're giving them credit for. They come into the league, they get stuck with this head coach that implements it this way or the damn highway, and it's either boom or bust. We don't ever give the quarterback another chance. Marcus Mariota, he could go to maybe to the Chargers and reinvent himself.
He's the wrong guy to talk to you about Marcus Mariota.
Marcus Mariota is going to Five Guys, and he's going to start flipping burgers in Nashville. This dude is done. Now here's a question. Here's a question, Doug. When was the last time you saw on Twitter a Cam Newton highlight as opposed to a Cam Newton outfit? This is all this dude makes news for anymore, is what he wears up there looking like he's going to the potluck down at the local Baptist church, and he's taking his pecan pie, and you better not say anything negative about it.
When's the last time you seen the advertisement for a Kohl's instead of a children's hospital or a hospital?
That may be the most random question I've ever been asked, Doug.
We got a children's hospital down the street.
What I'm getting at is he's banged up. We can't do nothing about injuries. The guy can't do nothing about getting hurt. And that's where I give it to you.
But we were going to keep getting hurt.
Yeah.
That's right.
You can say the same thing about Andrew Luck.
Yes.
He's a great quarterback. He's not in the league anymore.
Yeah. That's always in the back of your mind now, just with these guys. And he's just –
his dead cap hit next year is only $2 million.
Yeah, this could be a year for them to move on. And Cam would get another job. Absolutely. But yeah, with the dead cap hit not being that much, and I'm not saying Kyle Allen is the answer.
But it also seems like Kyle Allen is the opposite of Cam Newton in that he doesn't care about all this Gardner Minshew mustache and like his jorts he's wearing. He seems much more like a Ron Rivera-like type quarterback.
Good point. Yeah, great point.
Because you noticed it was, of course it would be the head coach to be the one to say this, but like Rivera coming out and saying, basically the insinuation was Kyle Allen's our guy right now. And Cam is not guaranteed to come right back into this lineup. At least that's the way I read Rivera's quotes. And it kind of speaks to what Bobby says, that like he's doing what a coach like Ron Rivera once done, which is protect the football, ball control, let's play defense, let's beat teams 14-10, that type of thing. And you can do that when you have a guy like Christian McCaffrey.
Okay, we was going to do the main segment of the show being we was going to redraft first 2 rounds of IDP. We're going to scratch that. We're still going to do the fast food draft, but we're going to talk some football here in the first part of the show. And with the secondary, is James Bradbury still the only one you want to own in that secondary IDP, guys? Big 3 there. Or do y'all still like owning Dante Jackson?
No, I think Bradbury's definitely the guy as far as cornerbacks go. Now, when you say secondary, we're talking about safeties too, right? Because then you got to talk about Eric Reed.
You got to talk about Eric Reed. I was going to let y'all guys bring that up for sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Reed, I think is last time we checked in our league,
he's a top 12 safety.
Top 12 safety. And so that's the guy I want out of the Carolina secondary. If you're in a league where you have cornerback designations, but I'm curious with Bradbury, and do you see him? Can you look up Bradbury right now on cornerbacks? It's always the question of is the cornerback too good? If a real life cornerback
number 1
is what?
He's corner number 1.
Corner number 1. So that answers that question. He's a guy actually recording stats, which is good.
Yes. Yeah. And that's the way that it is in some of these cases. That's why I wanted to bring this up with Carolina. Yeah. Because as Nate said earlier, as he was talking about this offense not doing much, not staying out, but we see Kyle Allen revamping this offense and keeping the offense out on the field longer, and keeping drives going longer. So does that take away owning? Because I'm looking right here at, the Pod Wars scoring, and I got James Bradbury here as a top 15 overall IDP player, and that's at cornerback, Of course, that's a little bit added cornerback bonus, because we got to give cornerback a little bit more love, so – that's with the cornerback bonus and stuff, but that just goes off what you said there, Josh, about it, the number 1 contributor.
Mm-hmm. And Carolina's second in the league right now in terms of defensive snaps. So that's probably a big part of the reason you're seeing Bradbury, especially with cornerbacks where there's so much variation week to week, just based on, if a guy's locking somebody down, he's not going to get a lot of targets. What is the team that they're playing? Are they run heavy, pass heavy? But the overriding factor, again, is snaps. And so with Carolina being second in the league, I think that's why you're seeing James Bradbury, who's an awesome shutdown corner, as the number 1 cornerback right now in IDP.
So, and you can kind of see that you can kind of see that as the number 1 because of the consistency. You can see week 1, he put up 28 points. But then week 2, he came with just 10 points. And then week 3, he came with just 9 points. Week 4, we're just at, 15. And then week 5, we're at 21.5. But then just this previous week, he puts up 54 points.
That's insane.
He's kind of...
He's a boom bust kind of guy, but that's cornerbacks.
That's kind of, and that last week is kind of putting him up there in that next level. Mm-hmm. So he does seem to be, you've kind of probably been disappointed to start in, half his games. But that's cornerback. That's cornerback.
At least, for us, if you have 7 or 8 points out of your cornerback in our league, they're doing pretty well for you. So,
So my question here, bringing up with Bradbury, is he a shutdown corner? Because I'm looking at his stats here. As far as pass defense, he's under 10 for the year. He's got 3 interceptions. He does have a sack, a tackle for a loss. Obviously, that kind of comes into it. But he's mostly getting tackles, which means completions.
And he's getting targeted.
Yeah, and he's getting targeted. So does that qualify as shutdown corner? Because shutdown corner would be someone you'd stay away from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think he's.
Unless is he doing something different? Like,
and especially with Dante even Jackson, he's been banged up.
Yeah.
So there's been a backup secondary. There's been a backup cornerback on the opposite side of Bradbury. Mm-hmm. Even this past week when he put up 54 points, there was a backup secondary opposite of him. So the quarterback was still looking Bradbury's way.
Right.
That, in my opinion, is not lockdown.
No.
Exactly, yeah. But I mean, Bradbury's still – he's good. He's definitely good. We've seen he's definitely an athlete. We've seen some of those clips on Twitter of him making some of those picks that are just absurd. But, yeah, I agree with you guys. He's just their number one corner. I mean –
So do you think he has – like with this, especially this last game, he had 11 tackles. That means 11 times he was targeted. And it was completed, and then he brought him down. Is he a candidate for getting cut or replaced in the draft? So this goes into dynasty value of, is this someone that's just going to be a this year starter, or is he going to go into next year and still be someone that's playing at this level for IDP? This is, I think, really this gets to the root of what sucks about IDP is that bad players, bad talent makes plays, makes points. And
you don't want to own Jalen Ramsey.
I was looking up while we were talking because I'm not a tape grinder that's looking at every single James Bradbury snap, so I wanted to see what PFF had to say about him. They had him through week 5, so this does not take into account week 6, where it sounds like he may have gotten torched, which happens to the best cornerbacks. But they had him ranked 19th in the league overall, and through week 5, he had allowed just 12 receptions on 25 targets for 186 yards, and had an interception as well. So I think it might have been a case where he's had a good season, maybe had a bad game. And so that's where, you saw the tackle numbers way up.
It was Tampa Bay. I mean, so it's Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. He was probably on Mike Evans most. I don't even know.
Didn't Mike Evans go without a catch? He had 0 points recently.
He put up a donut,
Not against Tampa Bay, though. Not against Carolina. I'm sorry.
That was against the Saints and Marshawn Lattimore.
Okay.
That was the London game, this last one that Bradbury got torched in. That was the London game.
Yeah.
And Godwin had 11 catches. Evans had 9 catches. Yeah. So, and both of them were over 100 yards. So, yeah, I mean, that may have been just a wonky game.
Yeah.
So, no, to answer your question, Nate, I don't think he's getting replaced in the draft.
And we know how it goes. Like a lot of these teams are going to look at the big stats at the end of the year. They're going to look and see, he's probably going to end up with like 6 or 7 interceptions. And they're going to go, 6 or 7 picks. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what matters.
Great corner.
Yeah, it doesn't.
And this is, and Nate, just to go off the other way of, I can go down here on the, I pulled up the top 200 scoring cornerbacks here, and you can go completely the other way. Let's take, for instance, Josh Jackson there in Green Bay. The guy has been completely shut down. Nobody in that division, nobody that's played Green Bay has thrown Josh Jackson's way, and you can tell by the scoring. Same way with Desmond Trufant in Atlanta. Atlanta is one of the most pass-happy teams in the NFL, having to keep up with teams because that defense has been underperforming. And Desmond Trufant, the number 1 corner there in Atlanta, he is down there in the cornerback list. That's because quarterbacks stay away from Desmond Trufant. He's one of the better corners. One more example here, Xavier Howard, one of my favorite examples. This is one of the best cornerbacks in the National Football League that plays on one of the worst NFL football teams in
history.
This might be an historic bad football team here in the Miami Dolphins, and Xavier Howard plays on that football team and is a cornerback that plays on that football team. If a opposing quarterback sees Xavier Howard lined up on somebody opposing him, that ball is 99.9% of the time not going to that receiver. Therefore, we don't want him on our IDP squads.
Yeah.
You can kind of take it tig for tat,
It's like the best example is like Darrelle Revis, like probably the best cornerback of our generation.
Yeah.
And he was terrible for IDP.
Yeah. He's not a guy you wanted.
Revis
Island.
Yeah.
Stay away.
That was when you knew you were playing with a rookie IDP players. They'd pick, the
names.
Pick him, the names. Yeah.
Byron Murphy, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's been awesome this year. He's a rookie, right, Byron Murphy?
Yeah. Yeah. If I'm going after corners, I want rookie corners on all day. Yeah. I mean, that was Dante Jackson last year. Rookie, got targeted like crazy. I think he ended up number 2 cornerback in our league. So that's who I'm going after the most. I don't want these guys that have established themselves as
deeper leagues, cornerback-oriented, cornerback-specific leagues. A little secret tip of Oklahoma Doug's here. I like looking at the practice squad cornerbacks.
Mm-hmm.
If two cornerbacks get hurt on an NFL roster, guess what? One of those practice squad cornerbacks are coming up.
Yeah.
Guess what? All you have to do is go to Twitter, go to search, go to practice squad, Oakland Raiders, CB. Push enter. Boom. First name you see popped up right there is likely the most important one in the news, likely the most talked about the coaches, therefore the most talked about on Twitter, therefore likely the most likely to get the next shot in line when that next cornerback comes down. And we all know them cornerbacks go down, bam, 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 bam.
Well, speaking of that,
who's going to be targeted is the guy coming off the practice squad.
Exactly right. And you don't think the opposing offensive coordinators and coaches don't know that this guy is coming off of the couch to play in an NFL football game?
Oh, yeah.
Woo!
They're salivating over it.
We're going silver.
Well, speaking of that, when injury and bringing in an unknown, either off practice squad or just wherever, one of my favorites this year has been Justin Coleman out of Detroit, coming in for Quandre Diggs. Ooh. He has had some lights out games. Just putting up, he had in that horrendous Monday game a nice interception off the face mask of, I don't know who that, Lazard or something.
No, that one dude, man, that just had the worst game ever.
Shit.
What was his name? White boy.
Kumaro.
I really put it in a bowl.
That's right. There's like 3 of them for the Packers.
Yeah. It started with an S, didn't it?
John.
Shepard. No, he wasn't. He's not white. Never mind. Sorry.
He's not white.
He's light skinned. So,
I'll just beep that out for the show.
Yeah, if you would. Sorry.
Who is it? Who could have possibly have been?
Here.
Yeah, where's Johnny?
But he had a terrible game.
Yeah, PFF has him as the 5th rated cornerback through week 5, so they love them some Justin Coleman as well.
Yeah.
Another cool note about that, Nate, Justin Coleman, Darius Slay, Tracy Walker, they're all related. They all went to the same high school.
Interesting. I did not know that. That's
CBU, apparently.
It's like
CBHS.
I did a tweet about it not too long ago, or before the season started. But yeah, they all 3 went to the same high school.
That's wild.
Yeah, I read it.
You remember that?
Good job, Nate. Don't read his shit.
That's hateful, Nate.
Yeah, Nate, I thought you said you were a Lions fan.
Yeah. I don't even know if the Lions Twitter know that that stat.
Yeah, how did you find? Did you like creep on there like
trying to build the followers, dude? Just dig deep, man. Clearly didn't get a very good feedback. So I'll
putting your effort into the right avenues there.
I'm gonna send you that tweet, Nate.
Do it. I'll retweet it.
Thank you.
Oh man, but yeah, no. Cornerbacks is one of those. I kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier with scoring settings and everything. I really like playing with cornerbacks, but they are so difficult sometimes. It's a streaming position.
Absolutely.
It really is. And if you catch one that's got a little fire, then you got to kind of ride them down.
We got a question.
And I was going to say one more thing about cornerbacks that's kind of funny is like we can finally start like Richard Sherman and Josh Norman now that they're old and washed up.
Because they kind of suck.
Yeah. That's actually a conversation I had a couple of years ago with Johnny and a couple other guys. And we were like, what's the point that, these guys, Josh Norman, Richard Sherman, are going to be playable? And we were like, whenever they have like an ACL tear, because they're going to go from
you're right,
super great to good enough to play.
Yeah.
And then you can start them. Then you'll be able to do it. And it looks like that is now.
Richard Sherman, it was when he tore his Achilles. And then for Josh Norman, it's when he started jumping over bulls in the offseason.
Yeah.
So,
Mark,
did you miss that
really
too?
Good idea.
Yeah.
Did you miss
I
that
remember that.
Yeah.
The question is, how does the Washington professional franchise allow Norman to be jumping over bulls? Like, how's that not written into his contract?
He's probably about to get cut, I'd say, soon. He's probably on his last leg there.
Gosh.
Oh man, so Detroit has a long list of guys that go and do stupid stuff in the offseason, get hurt, and then end up like missing a season and just screwing up everything. DeAndre Levy went.
Yes.
What was he? He was swimming in the Pacific Ocean and got like a virus, and everyone thought he had a flesh-eating disease. And then he was supposed to come back, and then he just got cut. And then our punter stepped on a conch shell. And
What's
was
a
gone
conch
for
shell? What's that?
like the spiky shells that are on like
a
beach.
Ear and you hear,
Yeah.
No,
You do all that weird stuff, but apparently is like razor sharp, and it's essentially like freezing your feet in a cryo cell.
Wow.
Man, that's been we kind of just moved away from AB, but what a wild 3 or 4 months he's had.
Watching his tweets, it's a cry for help.
Yeah,
sad, very sad.
He tweeted out free AB because he had to put that. He needed to be the one to say that.
Yeah. He might be working for free in the XFL here.
He's gonna be with Mariota, Five Guys.
There you go.
He's gonna be the second guy.
He's gonna flip. Mariota's gonna flip him the burger patty to catch on the bun, but he's gonna overthrow him by about 10
They're gonna
yards.
have a All-Pro team from 2005.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 2005 All-Stars.
He's wanting to know if he can have another pudding right now. Just get two and go on the porch, AB. Okay. All right, where were we?
I don't think. Hold on, we have not got Bobby out the gate yet. Bobby's still lingering around with that thing that fell out at Doug's first race. So let's get Bobby out the gate here. Bobby, what do you got, dude?
I don't know. I have so many things I want to talk about. So I guess while I'm sitting here thinking non-IDP related, but is this Darrell Henderson's week where he shines? And I think here's my answer. My answer is going to be no, because Gurley's going to play, and he's also back home in Atlanta. So I think Gurley's going to play a little bit better this week than everybody's anticipating. But Nate, what's your temperature on Darrell Henderson right now?
Darrell Henderson. My temperature.
It's a cool 69 degrees.
That's a very good question. I was not prepped before.
I'm so sorry. I can give you my IDP take, but give it to me, Michael.
I think they're both going to eat. I think Henderson and Gurley both are going to eat this week because Atlanta's terrible right now.
Probably has one of the worst defenses in the league.
Yeah.
So I'm a Gurley owner, so
I still love me some Grady Jarrett.
Bobby's a Gurley owner.
Big time.
He's having trouble coming to terms with with
it ending, really.
Yeah, it's man. Who are they playing this week? I'm sorry,
the Falcons this week, and then I think San Fran or Arizona next week. Malcolm Brown is hurt right now.
That's a big difference. San Francisco and Arizona. That's like two sides of the coin there.
They just played San Fran, obviously. Yeah, so it would be it'd be Arizona.
That's a good schedule. That's a nice schedule for them.
Yeah, I like Falcons going into Atlanta. Falcons have been just letting everyone run over them.
Yeah. I think Dan Quinn could be the next coach.
He should be. Why is he not gone?
I think it'll happen in the next couple weeks. I mean, that defense is terrible, and he's a defensive guy. He'll get a defensive coordinator job, but this team has gotten worse on defense.
And they've had good – I mean, I know they've been really unlucky with injuries, but they've got some really nice pieces there. They got the guy that we think is one of the best linebackers in the league. I know all y'all are big Deion Jones fans.
Yeah,
I don't know what the deal is with them. And they got all that they got all that talent on offense. It just makes no sense that they're not better than what they are.
Well, so a buddy of mine, John and I, he's a Falcons fan, and he says it like this. It doesn't have, he's just a normal football fan, just kind of watching his team. But he says like they go through cycles. 1 year, Matt Ryan is up. He's hitting all his passes, and they're doing great, heading for a Super Bowl run. And the next year, it's just like everything just derails, and they can't put it together. So I don't know if there's some truth to that cyclical nature of like that team, but man, it seems like they weren't that good last year either.
I know, but they have the talent, and it seems like their window should be now. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. Someone's got to go, and something's got to change there. Quinn seems like the obvious choice.
Yeah, when you're a defensive head coach and your defense is getting worse, you're the fall guy. Fair or not, you got to be the guy to go.
This is true.
Jason Garrett. That's the next one.
Jason Garrett.
If the Cowboys keep stumbling, because Jerry Jones, he had the comment of the year, I thought, so far.
Clapper.
Yeah, in that there's a great gif of him trying to give low fives to his guys coming off the field, and no one wanted any part of that. That was great. But Jerry Jones had the quote of the year when he said that Jason Garrett is a great coach and he would be in high demand if he were to hit the open market. Do you say that about a coach that you feel is the long-term answer for your franchise? No. So Jerry's already thinking, like, what's the next step here once we can Garrett?
Yeah. He's thinking about the XFL just getting fired up, and they'll probably have some coaching vacancies.
Have you all looked at the coaches for the XFL? It is like a who's who of like former college and pro coaches, like Leslie Frazier. No, not Leslie Frazier. Pep Hamilton, the former Colts offensive coordinator, is a coach. Bob Stoops is a coach. It's go look at some of these coaches, dude.
That's easy, I mean,
right? So I think he's maybe like the Dallas coach or something, but you've got a favorite XFL team already, Doug. Just go look and see what team he's coaching.
Yeah, I could see Dallas maybe looking at Lincoln Riley or something.
Yes.
Doug.
Hey, watch your fucking mouth.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Not gonna happen.
Doug,
better not happen.
Doug,
oh my God.
What did you? Were you watching whenever that thing turned over today? Were you watching it?
When the wagon flipped.
When the wagon flipped.
No, check it out. They had this big picnic for the company today, and it's worker appreciation. And they get this catering, and they get all these bounce houses for all you kids and everything. So anyway, I got my phone set up on the stroller, and I've got one of the 3-seater ones, right? Because fucking kids everywhere around here.
You got your own bouncy castle just for your 17 kids.
Exactly. I got to call ahead, rent it out. It's a whole fucking ordeal. Anyway, we're pushing along there, and I got the phone set up on the stroller, and it's like echoing, right? And we're sitting around watching the kids bounce on the bounce house. And anyway, I'm down there looking at and I look up, and I've got like 7 dads like around me, and we're all listening to the stroller radio, right? And then all of a sudden, we score a touchdown, and Toby Rowland our call by guy, you're a play by guy on Sooners Network. And the scooter goes down. Scooter goes down. You know, and everybody around me's like, "Oh shit!"
Their kids are running out into traffic, but the wagon going down.
That was the only reaction you could have.
Forgot we had kids at that.
Yeah,
point.
exactly. The wagon was down. No one's kids existed for a few minutes there.
They're okay though. The cheerleaders are okay.
Hey, do you want to? Fun story, fun fact about
they're gone
today. The person driving the Sooner scooter is a transfer from Austin, Texas.
Inside job.
Yeah.
Inside job. Huh.
Jet fuel cannot melt steel beams, Doug. Put it together here.
Is the transfer from?
Yeah, something's up. Something's up.
Something doesn't smell right.
Don't like
my
that.
co-host was here, he would put on his tinfoil hat, and we'd really get into things, but that's for the Patreon.
Yeah, that's for the Patreon. Hey guys, we've got questions here, including one from your mom.
My mom.
Your mom's 1669.
Yeah, so sorry.
She was born in 1669.
It's George Washington's mom.
Very old.
Mark Ingram or Brandon Cooks? So we got a little start-sit decision to make.
Mark Ingram, is Brandon Cooks is he going to be playing?
Yes.
Yeah, and
he is?
Yeah. Pretty sure he is.
Mark Ingram, though.
And it's Brandon Cooks against the Falcons, right?
Yeah, this is easy, though. I'm still on the Ingram train.
I would go Cooks.
I'm Ingram.
It depends. Is it standard? Is it PPR? Is it half?
This looks like it must be for a flex spot, but
I don't give a shit if it's
guys, I feel like Brandon Cooks would be like your wide receiver 1 or 2. You would have drafted him high, right?
Yeah, hopefully he's your wide receiver 3. I'd never want Brandon Cooks as a wide receiver 2, ever.
Well, I'm just saying he was going high. The 3 of them, Kupp, Woods, and Cooks, were top 24 wide receivers, unless someone like dropped him or he's been.
What if you got somebody like Godwin?
Yeah, you could have picked up a Godwin. Mm-hmm. I did that, and it kind of shifted everything. Made a trade, something like that.
Ingram is the 10th overall running back right now.
Yeah, whereas Cooks is the wide receiver 37.
But do you all like Ingram going against the Seattle defense, though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Love it.
Yeah.
Seattle defense don't scare me.
No, I mean
they're on read back.
Yeah, but they've they've been getting scored on pretty easy.
So there you go. Sounds like most of the room is going.
Whenever you got to steal your gimmick off of a team from Texas A&M, you're not going to have a good run defense lined out. So anything from Seattle, it's a no for me.
I mean, obviously Cooks, I guess, is like if you need just a crazy game, because we saw Fuller have the insane game a couple weeks ago. So if you need Cooks to
like huge upside,
right? But I'm just worried about Cooks, man. He's getting the concussion so easy now. I'm worried playing him coming off that big one he just had.
And I feel like I'd rather play like a Kupp or Woods.
Me too.
And I don't think that what's his face over there, Rams quarterback, is Goff is able to have 3 top wide receivers. He's not going to put that up. And
you got Everett there now too.
Woods really hasn't been great either, though.
Woods has been.
He had that one game that was 13 for 164, which really bumped him quite a bit. But other than Kupp, I mean, Everett had that one big game as well.
Yeah, Everett. Higbee has been getting some.
That's a WKU boy right there.
Yep,
some looks,
and he just got paid.
Yeah, but I really think the wide receiver you want there is Kupp.
There's a ghost in there. I think there's a ghost.
Hey, Doug, what kind of animal is that on your wall? I've been wondering that while you've been getting up to go pee.
Let's talk about the ghost. Let's talk about the ghost before we get into I think there's a ghost in there for real.
Of course, it's one of those animals. That's what I want to figure out. Like, what kind of pissed off animal spirit do you have to contend with here? Because that looks like a wolf.
Hey, I'll have you know, this bobcat was coming after my third youngest kid, and I shot him with a 410 right in the chest.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Did you name
So
it?
that's self-defense. Self-defense, Peter. Eat your fucking heart out.
I just want to know if you name your animals.
What?
Do you name them?
This is Bobcat Go With.
This is Bobcat I shot in the chest.
Yeah, I definitely would have had one less kid if there was a bobcat going after my third child. So shout out.
We can-
Third from
We
the
can
top or
see-
third from the bottom?
Yeah, like
We
how
can
useful is
see
this
our
kid?
Second that night.
Wow. Bobcat
Anyway.
Mania.
Shot that one. And then I caught this. This is 8 pounds, 4 ounces. This is a largemouth bass
That's
out
a
of Broken Bow Lake.
total.
I do fish guides in the spring about once every 2 weeks. And I caught this on the guide, and it was the record about 4 years ago. That's been broke 7 times. So, that's it.
Ooh.
That's it. And then we
Cracking
got
'em.
some deer. We got deer around here, but
Yeah.
And ghosts, apparently.
You believe in ghosts? You do believe in ghosts though?
Doug, you definitely have a ghost story. Don't lie to me.
I don't. Hey, there's a little fucking kid. There's a kid that lives in this fucking house. I'm telling you right now.
Bro, his
That's
house
your
was-
kid, Doug.
His house was haunted too, I swear to God.
7.
No, these ain't my kids. I've got mine put in cages, and I've got Cheeto bowls put out, water bowls. They
Cheetos.
took care of.
That's the baby food of choice in Oklahoma.
Hey, there's
Cheetos
hey,
and
we've
Baja
got, I've got
Blast.
two of them. I've got 2 of them that breastfeed, and sometimes the wife she gets to snoring, so I got to move into the living room and sleep on the futon. Sometimes, man, I'll be laying there. I swear to God, man, it feels like somebody looking over my shoulder, man. Hey, man, it's like, hey, whoa, you just wake up and it's like,
Some
It's like
presence.
you
You
just-
feel something.
hey, man, I don't know how to explain it, man, but it's happened like a couple. And just a second ago, something hitting in there. Something's hitting in the fucking laundry room. I don't know what it is.
Doug,
Something's
could
in
it be
there.
that you are extremely high? is that a possibility?
That can't be it.
No, for
No.
sure.
He said no.
No, hell no. No.
Oh, man.
No, this is strictly medicinal purposes. This does not.
Yo, this,
Can we back
this
up
that
real
shit.
quick?
This that shit that had you seeing ghosts, dog.
I'm also pretty sure he said his kids are grass fed earlier.
Did I
Oh,
say
my
that out
God.
loud?
Oh my
You're gonna
goodness.
have CPS come in there.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on?
You got bobcats charging at your damn children. The hell kind of operation you running, Doug?
A productive one.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Beer right there, boy.
Yeah, Markham's on beer number
That
2.
tall boy right there.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that sweet tea?
No, that's Yingling. That's their golden pilsner. It's good. It's very
Kentucky
good.
just got Yingling like 2 or 3 years ago,
Yeah,
so we
finally.
we didn't have it forever.
Yeah,
So-
we didn't have it out in Connecticut for a while. It's good stuff.
Big fan. Those golden pilsners are really good. They're better than I like them better than the lager or the light
Really?
lager. Yeah.
I'll have to look into that. I drink a lot of Angry Orchard.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
No
It's
woodchucks.
a thing. I like woodchucks, but I don't know. Angry Orchard is just kind of my
gotcha.
thing. But yeah,
Are y'all still talking about wine coolers?
Maybe. Don't hate.
Hey, whatever gets you drunk.
Whatever tastes best with your tears, Doug.
I know. It all makes me sleep the same, brother.
That's right.
That's right. Hey, we got another question from Kale Borate.
Just
Should I
how drunk
trade-
is Doug?
Yes, very. Should I trade Aaron Jones for James Conner, PPR?
Oh man, 2 running backs I do not care about.
Yeah, dang. Because yeah,
I would say yes. Wouldn't you all? I mean, I don't want either one of them, but I would probably rather have Connor.
I think I would too.
Yeah.
Never Aaron Jones.
Right, exactly.
Jamal Williams, seems to be the running back of the week, the flavor of the week in Green Bay. So, I think I would trade Aaron Jones for James Conner.
I just don't really like the whole running game in Green Bay at all.
Yeah.
It's between the two of them. And do you think they'll ever actually address it? Or are we just going to be in this,
next year,
not
probably.
as long as Aaron Rodgers is still quarterback.
Right. I'm thinking they're just going to be like, Aaron Rodgers will just slang it down the field.
Yeah.
Well, we'll call a run play. He's going to audible out of it.
Yeah.
I can see a lot of these situations changing next year with all the great running backs that are allegedly going to be coming in. A lot of these backfields could look different.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. But I feel like even last year they didn't do much because I'm trying to remember. When was the last time they had a semblance of a running game?
You had Fat Eddie Lacy.
Yeah.
His
Ryan Grant.
Yeah.
Remember him?
But it's never been anything that's stuck.
Right.
I mean, it's not been a situation where through 3 or 4 years in a row you could count on this guy to be there. It's always been in flux. They've never addressed this.
And I just don't see them doing it. Now, if anything, they might get like a wide receiver or something high. I'm sure they're going to draft a running back. There's too many coming out. But I just don't think it's going to be anyone that's going to figure this out. We'll just go from a 2-headed monster to a 3-headed monster.
Yeah. Green Bay's definitely weird. They never seem to draft skill positions high, right? Like we haven't seen them draft.
They do a lot of I was gonna say inbreeding, but
It's fine.
That's in Oklahoma.
Farm system.
I also don't like
I was gonna say.
No disrespect. No disrespect. We do it too.
Sorry, just step all over your point, Nate. But you did bring up inbreeding, so
it's your fault, buddy.
Yeah.
You got us excited. Sorry.
Goddamn! Don't judge me.
They were just thinking they're cousins. But yeah, they do a lot of bringing guys up, like not really drafting high, but like getting guys, and then like 2-3 years later they become relevant.
That's what the coach said.
What, Doug?
A couple of years they come relevant.
He's dying on his own joke.
I know. Love you, Doug. Love your heart.
Nothing. Moving on.
But yeah,
Back
I
to
don't
you,
know.
Nate.
I don't know whenever that's gonna like change. So I just get out of there.
Yeah. Yes. So yes. Collaborate. You should make that trade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or pair someone else and get like a decent running back.
Yeah, it's for real. Get someone else maybe that's not James Conner. Because who knows what he's going to be like when Samuels comes back? I mean, he'll be back, so he could be.
And Snell's look good.
Yeah,
Snell is so slow. I mean, he's running with concrete shoes. Yeah,
that whole offense just kind of died with Ben Roethlisberger.
Yep. Once Ben went down, and then once the second string goes down, I mean, you got Duck Hodges in there now, so it's not a good situation.
Did they play the Bengals? Was that who they played last week? Who did they play last week?
Good question.
Because Connor looked great.
No, the Chargers last week.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And they beat the Chargers, didn't they? It was kind of like
that's kind of surprising.
Kind of a beatdown.
They essentially played the Wildcat though with Hodges, and he just handed it off.
Really?
Yeah. Or ran it. Yeah. Threw very little.
That's probably for the best. Honestly, you don't want that guy making passes.
That was a terrible game for the Chargers. I don't know,
Chargers are the Chargers the most disappointing team so far in the league?
That's a good question. I would probably say so because we thought going into the season that they would be contenders.
Yeah. Steelers are easy to say, but you lose Big Ben. I mean, you kind of just throw expectations out the window. And the Chargers have had injuries, no doubt about it. But as long as your franchise quarterback is upright, this should be a team that is way more competitive than it is.
To be honest, we're still at the beginning of the season. It is 6-7. We're nearing the middle, but a lot of things can change. There's still a lot of football left to play, but with the Chargers, I don't know. I'm not afraid of them.
Not at all
anymore, and I don't expect them. I expect them to go back to the normal Chargers purgatory. Down 7 points, 8 points, length of the field, under 2 minutes, and 1 timeout. That's Chargers purgatory right there.
And then it ends with Rivers throwing a pick.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. So
throwing the ball like a man with polio who can't lift his arms above his head. Yeah.
Like a shot put.
Yeah. It's just the worst throwing motion I've ever seen. I don't know how he throws it down the field.
I'm wondering if we're in the middle of a transition between kind of the old elite to the new generation of quarterbacks, because there's a lot of guys going down. I think it really started with Luck. It's that time. We're in a transition period. We're going to see a bunch of guys come in, and we're going to see a lot of guys go. And that's kind of where I'm at. I think that's where we're at here.
Yeah, and speaking of Luck, as the Colts fan, I heard an interesting debate of, have we seen enough from Jacoby Brissett to think that he is the long-term solution in Indy? And I think anyone that's been watching these games closely would tell you no, that Brissett is the perfect bridge guy. They signed him, they re-upped him on that contract, so they've got him under contract now for at least the next couple years. And I think what you'll see Ballard do is hold the fort with Brissett, compete for the playoffs. They'll never bottom out probably as long as the Brissett stays healthy. But they'll wait until they identify their quarterback in the draft. They'll keep accumulating draft picks and other assets, and then make a big move into that top of the draft to go get their guy when the time comes, probably in the next 2 to 3 years. But I don't think Brissett is a future guy.
I can see him adding a key piece like a Marcus Mariota.
Doug. Don't you do it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I mean,
It kind of makes sense.
We do need a guy to bring out some towels every once in a while, so maybe he can bring those out and not get intercepted.
All right. Hey, Nate, did we get everybody finished off out of the gate there, buddy?
I think so, yeah.
We're all out.
Yeah,
we're stumbling around. Yeah.
Who knows? Hey, one of our favorite segments, one of the listeners' favorite segments here on the show is Fantasy Roadie. What we do is we have our guest. We talk music for a segment of the show. We get to know our guests outside of the fantasy football world. We get to know them through music a little bit. So what I want to do is get right into the Fantasy Roadie right here, Nate. So we're going to get into it. Tonight, the Fantasy Roadie is sponsored by StatementGames.com. StatementGames.com is a new fantasy/betting website that allows you to enter tournaments, enter groups with others, and allows you to pick over-unders and rank those according to your confidence. Statement Games gives away kick-ass prizes. I was this close to winning a Patriots jersey, and then I about won a Giants jersey the other day, a Sterling Shepard. Oh man, as a Sooner fan, oh man, that gets to my heart there, Nate.
I got him a Mahomes jersey before he broke his dislocated his kneecap there.
Yeah.
So I apologize. My bad luck rubbed off on Kansas City Chiefs.
Thank everybody. Send Nate DMs and mention for ruining our GOAT fantasy quarterback. Everybody
get death threats.
Thanks, Nate.
Come on.
Good deal, Nate.
Hey, Nate, I know a good lawyer.
Yeah, good.
It's Doug.
I'll need it.
Get that, yeah.
Yeah, Doug he just passed the bar. Doug can represent you.
University of Phoenix.
Yeah, it's exactly
Oklahoma
right.
Doug, MD. PDS.
God, can you imagine?
No, No, all right.
No, you can't.
Yeah,
No.
no.
All right, fellas. All right. All right. I'm just gonna go down the line here, guys. All right. All right. Josh, we'll start off with you, buddy.
All right.
What is the first song that you remember music having a different meaning for besides just a catchy tune?
Oh,
you know what I
man.
mean.
Oh, man.
Like, you're like, oh, this kind of hits me, you know. I understand these words, you know. This ain't just me tapping my foot, you know. Oh, this, you know, these guys kind of are talking to me.
Yeah, I would say it was when Justin Timberlake brought "Sexy" back.
Woo!
No, I can't do that to you. So I've never been like a huge music guy, but the first band I would say that really like spoke to me outside of this is like a catchy beat is a Seattle-based band called Head and the Heart. They're my wife and I's favorite band right now, and they have a song "Rivers and Roads" that's probably their most well-known song. And like anytime that comes on, like it's like a nostalgia trip back through the past like 6 or 7 years since we started listening to this band. So that would be my answer. Would be "Rivers and Roads" by Head and the Heart.
River Rose, Head and the Heart. My hunting buddy there, Bob. Same question, buddy.
Probably a big Coldplay guy. I would probably say, from X and Y. I guess that was in the 90s. It might have been in 2000s, but love Fix You. It's always been kind of the, roll the windows down and, crank it up, especially when it gets to the, the jamming part. So,
oh, yeah.
I don't know. I need to look and see when that album came out. I've had that one for a while. I actually have it on vinyl and everything too. But
nice.
Yeah, big Coldplay dude.
All right.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I love that vinyl's made a comeback.
Oh yeah.
Now this is the music guy here. This is the guy here, Doug. There you go. Nice. Doug's got his vinyl. What is that?
Got my vinyl, fellas.
Nice.
Got my Petty, my Tom Petty, and my Foreigner.
There you go.
Vinyl, man. All right, Adam. Last but not least.
Okay, probably like the first mainstream album I ever remember getting was Hootie and the Blowfish, Cracked Rear View. That was probably like the first. I grew up in a family where it was always like Christian music and stuff.
They can relate.
Yeah.
And so Hootie and the Blowfish, that was like the first like mainstream artist that I actually heard. And I remember like my dad brought me home that album. I think it was like the song that stuck with me was obviously the "You Only Want to Be With You" song.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that was probably the first. Here we go. Yeah.
With a love and some harmony.
So, is this the first album you owned?
I think so. Yeah.
Doug, do you remember the first album you owned?
Yes, I absolutely do. Without a doubt, I know the first album I owned. It was Alanis Morissette, Ironic, or Jagged Little Pill. Jagged Little Pill. Funny story, man. Funny story. As you said, Adam, I grew up in a Christian household, man. So you didn't get to listen to that mystical. Girl, you look good with your hat back there.
You did with all of your hood rat friends that were allowed to listen to that kind of music.
Well, you stay with your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember the first time that I heard who was it? The lyricist, the big time Nas. I remember my homie came and picked me up and he has Nas in playing and I'm like, oh my God, what is this?
Yeah.
What is this?
Uh-huh.
What is this? And he's like, oh, you ain't never heard of Nas? And I'm like, it feels so good swimming in my stomach. The fire trucks are coming up around the bend, and I'm just singing the Alanis Morissette.
So I have the reason I asked that question is I have a very distinct memory of my first album, which was terrible because it was the original Jock Jams. That was the first ever album that I owned.
Wow.
I wish they'd bring that back.
Right? It's
man.
Jock Jams was awesome,
Yeah.
but it's not like oh yeah, this music really spoke to me. It's like I guess I was using it to get hyped up before like 5th grade basketball or something, But no.
Yeah.
That's where they regulated what you could listen to whenever you came out the tunnel, and they're like, nope, only Sweet Child of Mine. That's it. That's the only thing you can run out to.
My first album that I ever owned was the Chipmunks Christmas album.
Wow.
Nice.
All right, that's the winner right there.
Yeah, and I jammed that shit. I jammed that shit in like July and August. It was no problem.
Hell yeah.
Just like
Outside Christmas time. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was trying to look it up. I was going to look up a song on Jock Jams Volume 1.
I think it was like Pump Up the Jam,
Yeah.
one of those.
I got it right here. Can y'all hear this?
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah. Leaving us in suspense. Oh yeah, there you go. Yes. This was on the original, dude.
That's Quad City DJs, right?
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah, unfortunately, Jock Jams got replaced with the Now series.
Yeah,
So,
which is still going.
like, what is that?
Now 251. It's so bad. Now, just stop. You're not now. That's called Spotify. Yeah.
It's called Has Been.
All right,
Yeah.
fellas. The next question on Fantasy Roadie is: you've got one music genre left on Pandora. That's it. You can only pick one, and once you pick it, that's the only genre that stays on Pandora from now until the day you die.
All right.
What is that music genre that you're picking on Pandora?
Oh, I got mine.
Day you-
It's 2000s like hip hop and rap. That's it. The stuff that I grew up with, like at the middle school dance, those are the songs that I know every word to. So give me 2000s hip hop. Done.
So you're talking like 50 Cent,
Nelly,
T.I., Nelly,
Young Jeezy.
Yeah.
3-6 Mafia.
Yeah.
36
So-
Mafia. It's huge for us.
Yeah.
What's
Oh,
funny
yeah.
about that? We
Tip-
would
tip-
not have been friends in in high school, middle school, because I was the emo pop punk kid.
I
Oh,
get
man.
it. Hey, the
So
first concert
just
I
like-
went to, Coheed and Cambria, and I think they opened for Thursday, maybe. Yeah,
Thursday, yeah, they were good.
Thursday, Friday.
AFI maybe.
Coheed and Cambria was my
man.
jam.
Wow.
I remember
feel you,
the
Nate.
first time I heard Coheed, man. That first single that they had, my buddy, it'd been like, it wasn't terribly that long ago. I say that, I'm 37. That was probably when I was like 20, but it don't feel that long ago. But I remember that first song and that dude with the fro, man. I mean, just welling that video of him. I remember us watching that video. He brought home the DVD of the whole, the first album that they put out. That Coheed and Cambria, man. I remember watching
Is that Welcome Home? Are you?
Yes, Welcome Home. That was
That's
it.
like their fourth album.
Yeah, that's down the line.
I've been listening to them for like 5 years at that point.
You just turned into a hipster right there, Nate.
Yeah.
I liked them before they were cool. So that's my choice.
Who?
That was like when they became popular, of like, because they were on Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
And that's when they had like the commercials and everything. And
Yeah, they've been around for a while at that point.
honestly, I think that was their last really good album.
You're probably right.
Yeah, I don't hear much about them anymore.
They're
but
still making music,
Yeah.
and they every album.
So is Guar.
Cam
was
Newton's
like-
still trying to play quarterback in the NFL as well. So
Yeah,
Third Eye
but
Blind
all
still
those
making
albums
music
were
apparently.
connected,
yeah.
and then they started making unconnected albums, and then they started making connected albums again, and it was like,
yeah.
I don't know, but I saw them in Boston a couple years ago, and finally, like, my fandom, I was able to fan out and see them. And they played the 4th album from start to finish, and I lost my voice.
That's awesome.
That's great.
All right, so we're giving a little bit away from the last question. There's one band left in the world. What band is that? And you need to pick 3 people from Twitter that you're going on that fantasy road trip with. Who's the band? Who's the 3 people that you're going on the road trip with? We're going to start with Adam this time. Adam.
Okay, is this
Open
maybe
field,
bands that have already died, like the lead singer's already died or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, name it, brother.
All right. I could have it a lot. I could have someone that was dead and then do one that was alive.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so if we're doing someone that has died, I would choose definitely Silver Jews. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of them. It's an Silver Jews. It's a indie rock band that kind of got formed in the 90s. That's my favorite band.
Are you saying like orange juice or like?
That's what I want to know. What was that second word?
Yeah, it's the one that you're probably don't
thinking
want.
of.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that was always they're an indie band. They were never that big, and I think a lot of it was because of that terrible name.
Were they Jewish?
I think so.
Okay, well,
maybe
that makes me feel a little better. I'm gonna Google this.
Okay, but so Silver Jews for the one that's dead, and then if for someone that's alive, it'd be Frank Ocean, just because he's so hard to. Even if he does say he's going to tour and show up somewhere, he usually bails and doesn't do it. So it's hard to see that guy live, and he's probably my favorite artist, these days.
Right on, brother. We're going to Bob. Same question, homie.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. Coldplay. I went both ends of the spectrum. I can do country pretty easy, but then I can also do Coheed as well. But Coldplay was kind of that middle of the road always. And, getting into the vinyls later in life has kind of been awesome for like having kids and stuff. The kids actually enjoy turning that stuff on, and we'll listen to, and that's what gives you an appreciation to an album is when you can put it on a record player and listen to it in its entirety and say, man, that's a great album. That's not one that you're, skipping songs on your Bluetooth on the way to work. I mean, you're listening to it, you're flipping it to the B-side, throwing it on there. So, yeah, good stuff.
We're very much, me and Bobby at least, we're pretty snobby when it comes to that stuff. We like stuff that you can listen all the way through. It's all. I hate the iTunes generation where it's just about singles and stuff.
Well, I'm on y'all's side of the tracks because I'm completely the same way, man. I love throwing a record on, man, and the kids going, "Dad, play that song again." Tough shit. You're gonna have to wait 45 minutes. Shit, bro.
Check out this next song. I thought that song was cool. Yeah.
All right, that's when you're gonna get to hear it again. All right. Have a good day. Let's have a good day.
Yeah.
All right, so Josh comes back around to you, brother.
So I've seen we're doing the one band. So
one band.
So I've seen most my favorite bands I've seen in concert like 4 or 5 times each. So this would be I'm actually going to pick a band that I saw for the first time in concert a couple weeks ago at a music fest down in Franklin, Tennessee, and this is Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats.
Nice.
They're like a really. It's hard to quantify the genre they're in, but it's sort of like easy listening. And they rocked out at this concert. And if I'm following these guys on a musical road trip, I would love to see these guys in concert multiple times. So that would be my pick. But check them out. Their biggest song is SOB. It's really good.
That's kind of a collective show. Y'all want to pick 3 guys as a team that y'all would take on those road trips. Let's say that y'all get to see all 3 bands. Y'all 3, of course, are going with each other because y'all are the big 3 IDP. So what other 3 people are the big 3 IDP taking on their road trip?
Are these people that we know?
Twitter.
And I like to tell people Twitter fan or Twitter related. Whoever we kind of can all associate with on Twitter, or it can be your damn mom, aunt. We don't care.
So
Anybody.
The big three are taking 3 people with us to see all 3 of these bands.
So we're taking one person apiece. Let's just do that.
I mean, we got to take Johnny, right? I mean, I think that's a no-brainer. Johnny's going. I feel like we should take someone from our league for sure.
It's going to hurt some feelings. If we do that.
I mean, they know who the favorites are.
Oh,
they
that's
know
what
the pecking order is.
That's what this question's for, fellas. This question right here is it kind of digs a little deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is tough. My favorite Twitter personality is probably Drill. I mean, you guys know at Drill, at DRIL.
He is so funny.
I'm up now.
He is nuts.
I'm going right now.
I think he's one of the best follows on Twitter. I mean, that's someone that I would love to take.
All right, so we're taking Drill.
I'd also like to take Sigmund Bloom. If you're going to go, he's my favorite fantasy analyst. I think if you're going to – and he's also a big music guy. I feel like he would be –
Look, you got to pick between Drill and Sigmund Bloom here, Adam.
I'm taking both of them. I got both of those. You guys –
screw y'all.
Sorry, Bobby. You don't get – no, Bobby, who would you pick?
Sigmund Bloom, Drill, and then I'll take Johnny.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. Later, boys.
I'll let y'all go and just stay home and hunt. That'll be fine.
Yeah, you're going with Oklahoma Doug.
Me and Doug will go hunt.
Yeah.
Come on up to Kentucky. I'll show you some deer.
So there's our 3: the Drill guy with 1 L, Sigmund Bloom, and Johnny.
He says he might become a pube guy. If anyone's interested in making my dick look smaller.
Yeah, so that's Drill.
Yeah.
Follow him.
Insta follow.
Yeah.
Holy shit. He has 1.4 million followers.
Yeah, he actually just – a lot of people are saying he's sold out because he's got a show on Adult Swim now, and that just happened. But this is a guy that has been he's been that character for the past 10 years pretty much since Twitter's been going. And, now he's
and
sold
this
out.
is why we love Rated IDP Live.
You learn a lot.
We're just growing, baby. We just growing.
Right.
All right, fellas. All right. We'll just move on to the last segment of the show, which is called Under Pressure.
Oh, gosh.
This is where we get down and dirty here, fellas. Where the hell did that book go?
I think we did break the record for this show.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, as we knew that
wanted.
that was going to happen for sure.
Yeah.
What I knew.
Is this the fast food draft right here? Is this what we're about to do?
There you go. Yeah, that's Nathaniel Rateliff. Very nice.
Yep. Didn't mean to do that.
I thought I recognized that name.
Yep. That's SOB. Yep. So is this the fast food draft, Doug? Because we are ready.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what we're doing. That's what I said, right?
That's yes. I believe at some point you did. At some point you have said those words.
As always, Oklahoma Doug carrying this fucking show.
Right.
So, well, no. All right. Nate,
Yeah.
you remember who had the 101?
I got rid of my notes.
Yeah, I did.
Nate has checked all the way out of this show, so
I've been up a long time.
Yes, I was gonna say.
Get a family in.
All right,
Nate's
we're going to do one round. We're going to do one round. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us. We're going to do a 10-team, one round, fast food mock draft. As everybody knows, IDP, Big 3 IDP, are the go-to fast food show. So Rated IDP wanted to dabble a little bit into that. So we're going to go real quick here. A one round, 2 picks, fast food draft. Bob,
Yeah.
you leading us off, buddy, with a
Easy.
101 in the
Easy.
fast food drafts.
Can't wait.
The 101 pick goes to
White Castle.
Oh my God!
Very simple.
You're so gross.
Did he say White Castle?
Absolutely.
The White Castle. Yep.
I knew it. I knew it happened. I knew it.
It's because of the big red on tap.
Yes.
It helps.
I knew that was going down. I knew it was going down.
Oh yeah.
Adam, we're going with you with a 102, buddy.
It's like if you're in an NFL draft or a fantasy draft and you have the 102 and someone doesn't take Barkley.
Yeah.
That's I feel like that's where I'm at right here because with the 102 I'm going Chick-fil-A, baby.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, in my opinion, the 101 is still on the board. So we're going to go here with Mr. Josh. You got the 103, brother. Take us home.
We can't do this establishment dirty by not having them in the draft. So 103 is Taco Bell.
Oh yeah.
Easy.
There it is.
Yeah.
There's your 101.
There's your 101. Thank you, Doug.
I think that's a reach.
Nate,
I'll show you a reach.
That's a second rounder.
Reaching for some more toilet paper.
I'm eating fast food to have diarrhea, Nate. So
Ooh.
that is the 101.
Man. So am I 104?
Nate, you're up, brother.
All right. So my 101 is picked. So I'm going to go actually with one you might not know of. Jimmy John's.
Oh yeah. We have Jimmy John's and it's absolute trash. So,
we don't have Jimmy John's here, and I fucking wish we did. Every time I go back home to Michigan, I get it, and it's just a better Subway.
Here's what you do: take 2 pieces of cardboard and then grab some sandwich meat and throw it on the floor, and then put it between those pieces of cardboard.
Oh, man.
And that's Jimmy
He
John's.
just shit all over Nate.
Yeah.
104, man.
Jesus.
That's like a 12th round flyer.
That was a reach, though, Nate. No kidding. That was a reach.
Man.
So you chose a sandwich for your 104, bro.
There's not even fries at Jimmy John's.
Come on, dog.
Those loving it.
Well, no, Chick-fil-A would have been my first.
Yeah, of course.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
You can't beat that.
Still on the board, fellas.
Then pick it.
Arby's.
Oh, okay.
That is the least surprising thing I've ever heard. That Doug is an Arby's guy.
Arby's is good.
Yeah.
It's like they got 5 roast beef for $5.
Hey, that new pretzel bun is awesome.
Yeah, you got to
We got
go.
the beef. We got the meat.
We got the meats. That's my favorite fast food slogan right now. Yeah,
Yes.
we got the meat. Yeah,
That was a good one, Nate.
Arby's is a great choice for coupons, too. They always have fire coupons.
I like the horseradish, the horsey sauce.
Yeah.
We all
Arby's
know
sauce.
the most-
I would literally go there just for that and then go over to Jimmy John's.
Take the
Put it
sauce.
on my
to Jimmy
sandwich.
John's.
I will say Jimmy John's has the best barbecue chips ever.
Mm-hmm. They are. I
have
will
their
give them
own?
that.
Yes. Yeah. I've
I
looked
thought
for
they
them.
just had like Lay's.
No, they got their own.
No.
Yeah, they're fire. The barbecue ones.
106. Adam.
All right. Let's see. This is tough now.
Now we get into the good.
McDonald's.
Adam is a big Mickey D's guy.
McDonald's because
Of the app.
Of course, we got. Are you guys using the apps properly? Using the apps on your phones?
What you'll learn about Adam is that he's a big coupon guy. He's a big app guy.
Now, this day and age, we get all the restaurants have their own little apps, and so you can get.
working.
No.
You gotta get a new phone.
Yeah,
New
you gotta
phone.
throw your phone out.
Burn it down, start over.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, it would be McDonald's just because of we got the breakfast. It's awesome. And then you got the double cheeseburgers for lunch and dinner.
Quarter pounder's solid.
And the drinks.
And the drinks.
The drinks have the best. They're the best drinks.
The dollar large drinks.
You're hitting a chord here, guys.
Yeah, Nate is now delusional. He has moved into the phase of the show where his soul is leaving his body.
Another note on McDonald's that I noticed. They're trying to put Subway out of business because the only reason Subway is in business is because of those cookies. And McDonald's has their own cookies now.
Ooh.
And they're hot. And they're fresh.
And I've heard nobody mention the sweet and sour sauce, which is damn near fucking unethical. Because it's damn near, it could put out every damn Chinese buffet around here. Out of business.
It did. We don't have any left.
I once worked at McDonald's and
It's Jesus.
took
It's
a
Jesus.
case of sweet and sour sauce home once and made I think it was like a rice meal with it, but I did use a ton of McDonald's sweet and sour sauce for a meal once.
And how did that end up?
Let's just say it did change colors coming through, but not much.
Yeah. Still came out like neon orange.
17-year-old Nate thought it was the best meal ever.
Exactly, yeah.
It's like, whoa, holy shit, this is great.
Damn, this is good shit. Just straight rice and sweet and sour sauce.
Yeah.
Yum.
Yum.
Oh shit!
Well, Doug's dying now.
Yeah.
Oh man!
We're gonna lose Doug before the end of this.
Oh god, Josh, 107.
Oh man, there's a lot of good choices left on the board, but I'm going Wendy's. I think they have the best like dollar value menu with the 4 for $4. You got the double stack, the nuggets, fries, and a drink for $4. I mean, that's like my go-to. The what?
That chili.
The chili's great.
Yes.
But you notice there's no other fast food place that does chili because
Or
they
baked potatoes.
Yeah, or they know they cannot compete with Wendy's on those two menu items.
Also, people disrespect their spicy chicken sandwich. It is definitely deserves to be thrown in the ring with the other chicken sandwiches.
Yep,
Sure.
Wendy's is
classic.
solid. Yep.
All right, Nate, we come to you.
All right.
108.
Well, newly rediscovered fast food restaurant that I gotta say I'm gonna pick here is Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Hey, all right.
Because they
all
got
right.
the mashed potato
KFC.
bowls and the mac and cheese bowls. We had them yesterday. They were delicious, and I gotta say their chicken quality has gone down since when I was a child, and I was like, this is the best chicken ever. But they make up for it with the mashed potatoes, the gravy, and you shove that into a bowl with some corn and some popcorn chicken. Can't beat it.
Delightful.
I got food poisoning from one of those once.
Even better.
You know what you're getting into, Adam. This is not up for debate. You know the risk.
Yeah.
You know the risk.
Sorry,
Doug doing a little maintenance.
I was trying to drop the microphone and it literally dropped.
I think Bobby's taking us home, right? And you have the you and Doug. No, Doug. Dougie, what do you got?
Brahms, baby. Brahms.
Okay, you got to tell us what this is. We don't have Brahms down here.
Brahms is Wendy's meets a grocery store. Brahms
But it's not
sells
fast, right?
their own ice cream. They sell their own farm-raised milk cows in their own milk gallons. This place is like Amish meets steroids meets McDonald's.
Wow.
And they created a Wonder World for Oklahoma Doug.
Wonder World. That is a scary world.
Ted Nugent babies and Sturgeon.
They made Oasis.
And I just throw them out of the car and give them money, and they go in there and buy milk, and they buy birthday cake, ice cream, they buy chicken strips.
So if we're throwing grocery stores into this now, any of you guys been to Stu Leonard's? It is the Disneyland of grocery stores. You walk in, they have, I don't know, it's just like...
What's it called, Nate? How do you spell it?
Stu Leonard's?
Stu Leonard's. Just look it up. They have animatronics.
What?
Yeah. So they have like, you know, when you went to Chuck E. Cheese and they had like the dancing bears?
Mm-hmm.
They've got that here in a grocery store. You have buttons.
I thought you meant
it looks like a bass fishing type.
It looks like a Gatlinburg establishment.
Weird. It's all their brand food. So everything's Stu Leonard's brand for the most part. And it's set up like if you ever gone in on Aldi's or like a store where like you have to go in a certain path. It's set up like that, but it's like Aldi's meets Trader Joe's with Disneyland.
Okay.
It's insane.
Yeah, they look looks like pretty
I've
big
never been in
buildings.
Trader Joe's.
It's okay.
It's trendy. Like Trader Joe's is like super trendy. This is just like, I don't know. It's weird, man. First time we went in there, they got an ice cream parlor. They make donuts in house, and they have like little windows where you can see it all being made, and then test them out.
I'll have to check this out. We'll have to check out Brahms too. That looks pretty good.
We googled Brahms. It does look good. It looks like a Culver's type place.
Yeah.
Culver's. Ooh.
Yeah. Shakes and burgers.
Yeah.
Do you guys have Culver's down there?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. They haven't made it. Okay, I changed my Jimmy John's to Culver's.
All right, we will allow it just to get Jimmy John's out of the picture.
That's awesome. That's good. We respect you a little more now.
Oh man, those butter burgers. We have them. The town I grew up in.
They're absurd. They apparently make their own. I've never had it, but they make their own root beer. So another little tidbit for you guys out there.
You got lots of fast food.
We could do
we like fast food.
That's gonna be the off season.
Speaking of, where does A&W rank in your fast food rankings?
We don't really have those much.
We don't mess with it too much.
Yeah.
If it's connected to a Long John Silver, I put it up there in the top 3.
Oh, and we just got so many like great chicken places around here. Yeah. It's just there's so many good options.
There may be needs for you guys to rank like their top 250.
Bro, we could do it.
Yeah,
we could do it.
I want to see that this off season.
We could do it.
That's our off season project, guys.
I want in on that.
All right,
we got you.
You're a consultant. All right, Bob. I think Bob's got to take us home here with the last pick.
Yeah.
Come on, Bob.
So last pick, I think this is probably on your all's board as well, but got to go Zaxby's. Y'all papered over that one pretty easily.
Has Zaxby's made it up to Connecticut yet, Nate?
What is that?
Chicken.
It's a fried chicken place.
So it's like chicken, fries, toast, and you can actually. What's cool about Zaxby's is you can get them dipped. Yeah. But
Texas toast.
Super buttered toast. Yeah.
Okay.
You can get them dipped, though. That's what's different about Zaxby's. They can get dipped in the wing sauce.
Markham is passionate about these dips.
He loves Zaxby's.
You just go there, pull in, and they give you bread.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you hold out your hands like this, and they just slop chicken into your hands. Yeah. They just shove the fries in your mouth like a total fatty.
Yeah. It's a good experience.
That's Zaxby's. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, no. I lived in the South for a little bit and never heard of that one.
It's kind of in little pockets. I mean, you kind of got to look for it, but man, it's awesome. It's way better than KFC chicken, I think.
Yeah, dude.
You're missing out. Burned his hand on his cigarette.
Shut up. Don't.
Cigarette.
Yeah. Cigarette.
Oh, man. Yeah.
All right, that was easy. Yeah. Under pressure, my ass. That was
that
was a walk in
the
park.
No big deal.
Yeah. Do this all day.
Hey. I got under pressure, dialed up, and ready to go. And I got to get that out of the way because I'm getting fish eyes from the wife.
Uh-oh.
Thanks.
All right, fellas. This is our last segment. We always carry on after this, but this is our last official segment. We call it Under Pressure. It's presented by, I know y'all brought up a fantasy site earlier called Slapper or Sclapper or Scraper, whatever it was called. But my fantasy league I prefer is myfantasyleague.com. Mm-hmm. You can have all your little flashy animatronics and all that stuff. I'll take myfantasyleague.com any day of the week. And this is presented by Under Pressure. So, Big 3 IDP. You ready to go under pressure?
Oh, yeah.
Big 3. You have $20. You're at the grocery store. What is the one meal that you're going to make to impress the most extravagant people you have coming over to your place? You got $20. You got to make a main course. You got to make a side, and you got to get that dessert. $20.
Yeah, $20. So you can't be looking at protein.
So we're gonna be going with probably fettuccine, chicken fettuccine. I would think.
Going with the chicken.
So we're gonna need We're gonna need a rotisserie chicken, right? Those are like $5-6 now. That's what we're gonna use for the chicken.
Okay.
I like it. Adam's coming in hot. I like it.
Sure. Again,
he's thought about this.
I'm at the grocery store a lot too. I enjoy food.
Mainly he's buying diapers.
Yeah.
Not food.
So we're gonna have I guess the chicken. We're gonna have to get the noodles. Then we're gonna have to get some heavy whipping cream, a lot of different cheeses and shit to melt, and make that sauce. And then we're just gonna buy some type of frozen cheesecake.
What about the side? Are we gonna do like a salad?
Oh, we'll have to get some toast, obviously. some the Texas toast. What's the what's the best brand? Texas Toast, I think, is the name of the brand.
Texas Toast, yes. Thank you, Adam.
That's our $20 meal, baby.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Thank you for taking it home. The person, that he has to impress, is big into chicken or fettuccine Alfredo.
It's easy, man.
Yeah.
Hey Nate, I'm just swept away. What about you, buddy?
Yeah, man.
I love to cook for you boys. I love to cook for you guys.
Markham's taking home the final rose on The Bachelorette.
I love to wine and dine you, and you guys can finish the rest.
Yeah.
You know it? Do you know the rest?
Question number 2.
He's married, if you can believe this.
Josh.
Yes.
What's your college football team, brother?
Western Kentucky.
Bob, what's your college football team, homie?
Well, it's already taken.
Ask me, Dougie.
Adam.
Bob, Adam.
Western Kentucky.
Bobby likes Clemson, don't you?
Yeah.
You went and saw a game.
Watch from there.
Yeah.
Hey, this is one of my favorite questions right here because I always get the wildest answers. How many people graduated your high school class, Adam?
We graduated in the same class, and it was probably like 325 people.
Yeah, he was the yearbook guy, so he probably has like an exact number for you.
Yeah, I think it was 325.
Bob, did you live in the same twin?
He was just a year ahead of us.
Yeah. 330 probably.
Yeah, I think their class was a little bigger.
My class was 10% of that.
I always like to tell people.
Really?
23 people.
23. Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
Yeah, and the schools got much bigger after we left. Like my brother's graduating class was like pushing 500 people.
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah, schools are way overcrowded here.
People wanted to get here and eat this food. Man.
It's
actually
There's a rush. Yeah, there's just a lot of like fat
chicken
finger-fed children in the
a lot of wheelchairs.
Yeah.
A lot of wheelchairs.
We rank about 45th in terms of school systems.
All right, fellas. Bob, who's your most owned fantasy player, offense or IDP? Most owned fantasy player, brother.
Probably Myles Garrett, maybe. Yeah.
Hey, we're close on that, Bob.
Yeah.
Josh?
Ezekiel Elliott.
Ooh.
Zeke.
Yeah.
Adam?
That's too bad.
I know.
Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was a big OBJ guy. Yep.
Yeah. Not been the greatest this year.
Yeah, not been the best.
We're holding out hope.
All right, guys. We're starting the NFL expansion team. What city do they move to? What is the name? And who are we taking them away from?
It's gonna be the Tennessee Tundras because we're pushing the Tennessee Titans Stadium into the river. They're no longer the Tennessee Titans. It's just rebranding, basically.
Yep. Toyota. The way it should be.
This one's easy. We're sending the Los Angeles Chargers back to San Diego where they freaking belong and getting them out of that soccer stadium in Los Angeles where they can't fill they can't get 15 Chargers fans in there. Yeah. Give me a break. Go back to San Diego. All right, Adam, what about you?
Okay, I guess we're going to get rid of the Dolphins because who gives a shit, I guess. And then we're going to relocate them to Bowling Green, and they're going to be the Bowling Green Butts. So,
what kind of butts? Like barbecue butts?
No, your you know your butt. Your ass.
You're sitting and pooping butt.
Yeah.
The butts.
Bowling Green Brown Eyes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Of all the names you could have gone with, you went with butts.
This is my fantasy. This is my fantasy.
Get my inhaler. I'm gonna do that.
Yes. So you have the Tennessee Tundras, the San Diego Chargers, and the Bowling Green Butts.
There you go.
Next question, Doug.
We're moving on. All right, fellas. What is your favorite cereal?
This one's easy. It's Captain Crunch with Crunch Berries.
Crunch Berries.
Done.
Bob.
I actually like the crappy Cocoa Puffs in the bag. I prefer them to the brand.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's terrible. I'm sorry.
We're the same person, Doug.
I think they left. Hey, Bob, I think our parents left me in a trash can outside.
It's possible.
Left you in a trash can, Doug. Come on, you deserve better than that.
Joe Dirt.
Yes, George. Thank you. Thank
So
you.
Dirt.
I
Joe
just
Dirt.
watched that movie like an hour. Well, wait. 3.5 hours ago.
All right, Marco, what's your favorite cereal?
I guess Fruit Loops, man. It's classic.
Fruit Loops.
Big fan of Fruit Loops.
We're gonna.
They also have the marshmallows in them now. You can find that variation.
In case you want extra diabetes.
Aren't they making the Lucky
Diabetes.
Charms that are just
Diabetes.
marshmallows?
Yes, that are just
Yes.
marshmallows.
That's awesome. I need to get that.
Have you noticed some of these brands have been linking up? There's the Frosted Flakes with Lucky Charms combo.
Yes,
Again, we know a lot about food.
yes. Trashy food.
You guys
Yeah.
should start a podcast about that.
we should.
Yeah.
It's not too
Maybe.
late to pivot.
Hey, whenever you have 12 kids, what you have to do is you have to get these kind of bags of cereals, and then you might have to pick the marshmallows out for one kid. And then
Yeah.
you might have to pick the Cocoa Pebbles out for one kid. And then you might have to pick the Fruit Loops out for one kid. So I'm all with you.
Yep.
I love the bags of cereal.
Dougie, that is the best part of having kids is getting to eat
Yes.
all of their junk.
Yes.
Like the Capri Suns I'm getting to drink now.
Mondo's.
Again.
Oh,
Dude,
oh,
all the cereal. It's really, that's a
Yep,
underrated aspect of being a
for
parent.
sure.
hey, you know what I found the other day? I found Dunkaroos.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Oh man, I ordered them offline. I got them here at the house. Got some for the kids. You'd have thought I fucking dropped off a fucking UFO spaceship down from Battlestar Galactica. You know what I mean? And we're just talking about a fucking little bear that you dip in some ice, and that's all we're
But
talking
it's so
about.
much more than that, Doug. It's memories.
Oh,
Yeah. Dougie, send us that link, buddy.
Yeah,
send us that dark web
Yeah.
link if you would.
If we have to pay with Bitcoin, that's fine.
That's fine.
We'll do whatever.
I got you. Thank you.
Thank
All right, guys. We've got two more.
All right,
Two
two
more.
more.
One of my favorite questions right here. Michael Bay or Quentin Tarantino?
Michael Bay. Next question.
Oh, what? I'm gone.
Quentin Tarantino is so overrated. He has movies with iconic scenes, iconic characters, and iconic dialogue that suck as movies. I'm done. Give me Transformers and robot testicles, Doug. That's all I want from my movies.
He's throwing my hat out of rage.
Yeah,
Gosh.
I'm sorry. That's how I feel.
Carry on. Bob, excuse me.
I don't have an answer.
You don't want to say Michael Bay. You don't want to say
I really don't care about either one of them, to be honest with you. Not a big movie guy.
That's kind of me too.
I mean, Michael Strahan.
Same way, I'm not a big movie dude.
Lames.
Really?
But Michael Bay's probably the dumbest of the two. So he just it's a lot of explosions and stuff, right?
A lot of
So-
close-up, gratuitous close-ups of scantily clad women and explosions.
Yeah. So we'll choose Michael Bay.
Yeah, so we'll go with Michael Bay. He fits our brand a little better.
They're totally opposites. You know what I mean? So it's
Yep.
it's a good question.
It's like, are you an idiot or do you like art?
Yeah,
We're like the idiots.
we're idiots. Yeah.
No, it ain't nothing like that at all. All right, guys, last question. Here we go. Name one player you want to plant your flag on and tell everybody in the IDP or offensive community that this is the guy that I want to plant my flag on. We're going to start with my dear hunter buddy, Josh. No,
I ain't heard nothing.
Bob.
Bob, take us home, baby.
Yeah, so I'm going to say Corey Littleton, at least for this year. You know, you got John Johnson disappearing. You know, Micah Kaiser's not there. You've got a new linebacker middle of the year. Littleton was down on a lot of guys' ranks going into this year, and he's performing really well, doing well in coverage this year. So not only is he my dude on my team, but I've got him pretty heavily honed in lots of places. So yeah, Corey.
If Bob's going to be a homer, I'm going to be a homer as well and plant my flag on Marlon Mack. I think this guy is one of the top 5 running backs in the NFL right now for fantasy purposes, because just don't plant it on that Ethernet cord, Doug, because the Colts are throwing the ball short and they're running the ball. They have, I think, the best offensive line in the NFL. So Marlon Mack, if you can somehow take him away from the owner that has him in your league, go get him. He's going to win you championships this year.
Adam.
Okay, I'm going to go with my little pink-haired baby. And, Doug, you may like this guy. I know you're a 49ers fan. Dante Pettis. I know that he's had a tough start to the year, but we've also know that he's been dealing with injuries. Shanahan's come out and said he's been dealing with multiple injuries. And so I think you're finally seeing him healthy, and you've seen him be top 2 as far as snap leaders at the receiver position. So he made a couple of nice plays last week, a couple of really nice catches. I think he's just going to keep on building on that, and I love Dante Pettis.
Yeah, take was so bad it put Nate to sleep.
Not a Dante Pettis fan, Nate. So
I'm going to go ahead and throw mine in here as we get out of here, and I'm going to say Nicholas Morrow. Nicholas Morrow is going to win you IDP championships, fellas. Nicholas Morrow, the Raiders are looking hot. The offense is being able to keep that defense a little bit fresher than times in the past. I like Nicholas Morrow. I like him being where he should be, and I like just opportunity to lead the point. So Nicholas Morrow, go pick him up. Go get him where he can. Nate, you got one
right now.
No.
Nate is slowly turning into dust, like Thanos just snapped him out of existence.
I think it's been 14 hours. I'm ready to go. I'm sorry, guys.
No, that's all right.
It's all right, Nate. You've been beautiful.
Right here. So I want to give 2 minutes, just 2 quick minutes. Bob, Josh, Adam, hey, go ahead and tell everybody real quick, man, where to find y'all, where to find you kick-ass work real fast, fellas.
Yep, so we're at big3idp.com. Bob actually just dropped tonight his top 150 combined rankings. This is offense and defense. And as far as we know, this is, if not the only place, one of the few places on the web where you can find combined offensive and defensive rankings. We've also got our dynasty ranks and our redraft ranks on there. So check it out. We can be found on any podcast app, Big3 IDP Podcast. Our Twitter handle is at Big3IDP. He's at Adam IDP. He's at IDP Bob, and I'm at Josh Raymer.
And I'm at Oklahoma Doug. He's at Nate Cheat. We are both at IDPguys.org. We can both be found on Rider Digest Network, YouTube. We can everybody thank our sponsors at statementgames.com, at myfantasyleague.com. And everybody, thanks for joining us. This has been Rated IDP Live, episode 19. Thanks to the Big 3 IDP for joining us. Nate, thanks for sticking around. And
the Joe Rogan edition.
If anything you'd like to say, please interrupt me before I get out of here. If not, this is Rated IDP Live, and this is a